Hello, online on the internet. It's me again, Zoe from the internet, from the Yogscast, from online. I'm still joined here by Fiona. Hello, Fiona.
Hello.
Hello. Um, so this is a bit of a different stream. We'll get right into it. I think that's the best thing to do. Um, this is a very serious stream, not like any of the other streams this month. Um, we will be trying to be as serious as possible here because it's a very important reason, a very important cause, something I've always wanted to talk very strongly about and never really found the available slot for on Jingle Jams and stuff like that. But I figured we'd do it now. Kind of last stream before Christmas, no one else is really around or available, so I figured, hey, I'd take it and do it, even though I was already doing 3 hours of Sims before this, but
hmm
whatever. It was the only time I could get, really, so that's fine. So I want to open up by saying, first of all, there's going to be a lot of difficult stuff on this stream. It's totally okay, first of all, if you want to not watch this live. If you want to take your time, watch this as a VOD. It will be out on the Yogs Live YouTube channel in about a week. Any way you want to approach this, totally fine, totally understandable. I totally expect many people to not be watching this in the first place because they're probably just expecting silly, funny games. I totally get that. That's okay if you're not interested in any of this, if you don't think it applies to you. Totally fair, fine, whatever. And I'll also say that there will be a lot of difficult topics. Talking about things that I've experienced, talking about things that people with mental health might experience, things like self-harming and suicide and stuff like that. So if you think you might be affected by those things quite strongly, then of course definitely take your time watching this, and I don't expect you to be fully committed to this right immediately straight out the door, so take your time if needed. We're going to be playing a game called Please Knock on My Door for the first hour or so of this stream. It's a game that I think of all games released lately, I think most captures the feeling of social anxiety and depression, which are two things that I have and that I experience. So therefore, I feel like it is the best fit for me to talk about and to discuss. And also, I really think it's a good way for people who might not experience these things to be able to watch it and to maybe get a kind of, even though it's through a video game, they might get at least an idea of what it is. But I reckon there's a lot of things where if you don't experience it, you kind of don't really know how to approach it or what to expect. So I think it's important. Education is very important in teaching people about what these things are. Um, and things like that. Fiona, you are mostly just going to sit here as my comfort in
hmm
case anything gets too difficult. You'll be here to hug me and
Yep.
things like that. That's fine.
Maybe I
That's
can
fine.
add to the conversation, but I'm
Fiona,
I'm not very
yeah,
helpful.
you
So.
you have experienced some issues as well. But obviously that's totally up to you if you want to talk about them or not. It's not expected.
hmm
Um, I have been pretty open with my history. I've done videos about this before on my own YouTube channel. Um, the You Are Awesome video has talked about it a lot. Um, so basically, for the Jingle Jam this year, we are supporting one of the charities we're supporting is the Mental Health Foundation, and I looked at that and I thought, I don't. I don't want the Jingle Jam. I mean, I'm not really in a place of power to say what the Jingle Jam should be, but if I'm doing a stream for the Jingle Jam, I don't want it all to just be silly nonsense, playing video games, being silly. I want at least some part where I actually talk about why this money matters, why all this money we're raising for charity, why this 4.8 million is so important. It's I I mean, hopefully it doesn't need to be said. Hopefully people understand that this is for charity. This is for helping people. Um, I'm sorry. I need to refocus my brain. So okay. So what I'll say is the things that I have been diagnosed with, the things that I experience are major depression, social anxiety, and a personality disorder. All things kind of all float around in my head and all mix and mesh with each other and make things very difficult. The anxiety um, means that even if I'm not feeling depressed, it's difficult to leave the house. And if I'm not feeling anxious, but I'm feeling depressed, it's difficult to leave the house. And the personality disorder just goes into all of it and mixes it all up whenever the heck it wants to. So that's fun. Um, but I'm the way I'm saying this makes it sound like it's like a dead end, but it's not. When I first started getting treatment and therapy, that was about 10 years ago. Um, and at that time, I had no idea what was up with me. I had no idea why I was acting this way. I had no idea why I was mood swingy. Why I was just unable to do things that all of my peers could do. And it took a while. It took a lot of different treatments, a lot of different therapies, and the first ones didn't work. I think that's an important thing to talk about as well. How there's no like set cure. If you think you are experiencing anything to do with your brain, anything that's affecting you in your life mentally, it's not the same as, hey, oh no, you've been in a car crash, you've hurt your foot, you need to go to hospital, they put you in a cast and they know exactly what to do right away. You can't just go into A&E and say there's something wrong with your brain and expect someone to just come and tell you what it is. Unfortunately, the NHS can't do that. It takes time, there are waiting lists, and that's the most important thing I want to get across before I go into anything else. The waiting lists suck. The waiting lists make it really difficult to not feel, to feel like you want to just give up. You want to just think, what's the point when the waiting lists are going on and it's like 6 months to wait for something. But I need to stress very, very strongly that I know 6 months, 2 months, however long it takes, sounds like a very, very long time. But no matter how you're feeling, if you can just put all of your energy and all of your effort to just get through that waiting time, as difficult as it will be, once you are there, once you are in the system and someone is seeing you and it becomes like a weekly thing, everything goes so much smoother. It's the kind of has to get worse before it gets better thing. It sucks that the NHS is like that. They're very understaffed. I could go into all kinds of things talking about the NHS, but that's not really what the stream is about. Um, and yeah, I want to stress that I was ready to just be like, screw it, whatever. I suck. I'll just carry on being this sucky person and whatever. But I just stayed on that waiting list. 6 months later, finally got an outpatient thing to talk to someone. They like briefly asked, hey, what am I experiencing? What's up? And I gave them some brief insight, and finally that then led to, medication, to therapy, and it leads to something. It leads to something. I want to stress that. I want to stress that it leads to something. Don't give up. That's the most important thing. If you close the stream now, if you don't listen to the rest of the stream, I just wanted to say that. If you are feeling crap, if you think you need help, it will take a while and it sucks. But if you just go through it and you just put up with it somehow, if you just keep fighting, it will be worth it. I promise. I can promise that. So yeah, I've experienced multiple things. I've been on multiple medications. The first medication that I got put on was an antidepressant, and it didn't work. So this is an important thing I want to talk about next. Medication it's not a one size fits all thing. I've gone through 3 different medications before I found one that actually changed me for the better, actually helped me get through stuff. So the first one I was on, basically, the thing there's loads of different types of medications. I guess I should say this as well. I'm not a doctor.
No.
Don't take my word as doctorate. I'm not a doctor. Doctors will be able to talk about this stuff way more succinctly and better than I can. I simply want to offer some kind of hope, some kind of personal experience of what to expect and how things can get better, and the doctors would take it from there after that. But I just wanted to, yeah, sorry, I needed to say that at the beginning as well. Forgot about that. But yeah, the first medication I was on was terrible. It turned me into a zombie. I was falling asleep on the bus going to work. I was falling asleep at work. I was unable to do anything. It's one of those things where technically it cured my depression, but that's only because I never felt anything and was asleep all the time. So yeah, that didn't work for me. Apparently it works for other people. That's fine. The next one I went on was another antidepressant, and that worked a heck of a lot better. I'll talk about why that was important to me later on. I've also been prescribed some other stuff. I've been prescribed an antipsychotic during the times where I was experiencing things that they considered possibly different diagnoses. Turned out that I didn't need them so much. That wasn't. Yeah, that was, again, the therapists and stuff can get things wrong. It's not always the right call right away, but that's why therapy is what it is. That's why you need to go weekly or whatever, and keep talking, keep figuring out what you are. They prescribed me, diagnosed me wrong the first time. But yeah, but now now I'm more comfortable with what I am and what I need, and I'm way better for it. It took a while, but it was worth the wait, honestly, because now I feel a lot more confident about what I'm experiencing, and I can actually put a name to it, and stuff like that. So I've also been on anti-anxiety. I'm sorry that there's no video, by the way. I know this is just a splash screen of me and Fiona, but we will get to a game soon. Sorry for those that are expecting that. Yeah, I've been on anti-anxiety. That's more of a kind of emergency thing for when I'm really, really unable to do anything. I don't generally need that day to day. It's mostly when there's something super serious and stressful coming up that I need it for. Um, yeah, so that's a different thing as well. But yeah, basically what I say is, again, like therapists, like medication, like everything, you never you never find the right one first. It's really kind of annoying. The first therapist I saw wasn't what I needed, and the second therapist I saw was a little bit better, but still not quite there. But the third therapist that I finally got put with, I saw for like a year and a half, and helped a lot. Like, it got me out of the house and doing things, and was genuinely exactly what I needed. And yeah, it's the same with medication. The first one was almost made things worse. But eventually, again, it's so tricky because, again, not like a broken leg, not like, a headache. You can't just take like a paracetamol for it. It needs someone that knows what they're doing, digging around in your brain and figuring out the specifics. And there's a heck of a lot of possible specifics and configurations for brains.
There's a lot to go wrong with brains.
Yeah. But yeah, and then what I'll say is I've also gone through different therapies. So the first therapy I went to was kind of an outpatient thing, and it was kind of like it was like a kind of, I forget what it was called. I think it was like a day group. So like I wasn't there as an inpatient, like I wasn't staying there, but I would go to the hospital at like during the day, and we'd do things like Tai Chi, and we'd do things like group chats and group therapy, and we'd just talk, and that was pretty good. The problem with that at the time was that was private, and I think my parents thought it would be something they could just pay for and fix and then be done with, and they didn't realize it would be something that was going to be lasting the next rest of my life. So they kind of, I don't think, could keep up the money or something. I don't know the specifics, but yeah, I couldn't carry on doing that. So then I ended up going to something on the NHS instead, and going to this was where the waiting list came in, and I realized that things were going to be a bit more difficult. It wasn't just going to be paste the money, get it sorted. I realized that very quickly, unfortunately. That's how it is. But I wanted to be better. I wanted to know what was wrong with me, because no one had told me yet. And so I just kept waiting. And eventually, I got put on this NHS therapy for group therapy. And I went there, and that was like once a week, and just sit down with a group of other like depressed people, and there was like worksheets and like talking about what you're feeling and stuff like that. And it was pretty basic, but I think just having that thing to go to every week, having like I think it was like 8 other people around me that were there and had the same things, and like I wasn't alone, helped a lot. Even if the therapy itself didn't get me far on its own, the experience of it helped a lot with things like social connections and stuff. After that happened, I kind of flailed for a bit, and they kind of like said, oh, you're depressed, you're kind of just, you're pretty young, you don't really know what you're doing with your life, it will hopefully sort itself out. That was it. Kind of. And then kind of 2-3 years went by, And I was just like, yeah, okay, I guess. I mean, it's still kind of there though. Still kind of affecting me, making me late for work and stuff. What do I do? But I kind of had to keep it all to myself because I just figured, oh, they didn't want to talk to me anymore. I was done. They kind of put me out the door and were like, yep, you're sorted, and I wasn't. So then this was when things started going bad, basically, because I felt like I couldn't talk to any of them. I felt like they were going to ignore me because they had like kicked me out. I felt like, and I couldn't talk to anyone else. I didn't want to bother my parents because I had already like done so much for it, and I had no idea what to do. I had no idea what I was. I had no idea why I was. I had no idea of anything. Um, and it got bad. It got to the point where I started self harming, and I just it was the only thing that made sense at the time. And in retrospect, I wish I had just talked to someone. But yeah, I remember a pretty bad time where I just came running out of my bedroom like with bare arms and just showed my mum like just covered in blood. Um, and that was the point where that was really bad. I don't know how else to say that. uh, uh, um, that was the point where they put me on waiting list again. But it was more of a I don't. Again, I wish I could remember some of the terms. It was more of like a crisis thing. It was like, okay, this person is actually dangerous to themselves or to others. They need to speak to someone like immediately. And I was talking to like the crisis people for like a month, but things were getting worse and worse and worse, and I couldn't find any escape. And eventually, they had to hospital sorry, put me in hospital. um, yeah. So I was in hospital for about a month. I was very distant. Wasn't talking to anybody. When it came to like dinner time in the hospital, I would eat it in another room. I was isolated. I didn't think there was anything left for me. I had no idea what was going on, and no one was telling me anything. And I'd given up. Um, it was very, 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 very close to being irreversibly given up. Um, so that was the darkest point of my therapy and everything that I've gone through. But but very important. There is always still that little bit of hope, that little bit of light, that something somehow. I don't know what it was, but one of the doctors there was just like, "Hey, we're gonna put you on some medication. We know you haven't been on it for a while, but try this one." And I was reluctant. I was like, "Oh, the first one turned me into a zombie. I don't want to do it. Now, what's the point? I suck. Nothing's gonna make me feel better." But some part of my brain that was still wanting to fight, still wanting to survive, was just like, fine, I'll just do it. Why not? Who cares? And I took it. And honestly, I don't know what magic was in it, but something about it, like 2, 3 weeks later, I was just like, you know what? You know what? Maybe I'll give this another go. It was really weird. I don't know what it was exactly. I don't know if it was a combination of everything. I mean, like my family was there visiting me in hospital. Like that was all very like eye-opening, I guess, as well. Knowing that there were people that cared about me and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, because this as well. Sorry. I guess I'll go into a bit more detail as well. This all came after like a breakup as well. Like I had never really had a relationship before, and I had no idea what I was doing. And this was when like the kind of symptoms of my personality disorder were kind of coming to light. And I was a horrible person, honestly. Because I had no release for what I was doing. I had no idea why I was doing these things, why I was being mean, and then like being nice like 5 minutes later. Um, it was all like weird and just weird, and I didn't like who I was there. And but managing to get into hospital, and having someone actually sit down and like go through like a kind of almost a personality test with me, and actually sit down and say like, hey, look, these are the things that you do in response to social situations. This is why this is why you do these things. Like to actually have an explanation for it, and realize that it wasn't just because I was evil. It wasn't my fault necessarily. Like I could try and fight it then because I knew what it was. I could try and fight it. and just having that direction, having people to talk to me, having people tell me and actually sit down with me was exactly what I needed. I wasn't just floating by myself anymore trying to figure it all out. I just had, for the first time, I actually had a person that wanted to know about me, wanted to talk about me. And they did. And then after that, because of what I had been through, I needed to like have someone like check up on me kind of weekly for a while, when I've made it back home. And then after that, they put me into some pretty like intensive like one-on-one therapy, and that was the therapist that I was actually able to talk to and like just figure stuff out with, and that lasted like a year and a half. And because I was on the medication at the same time, that's what got me out of the house. That's what got me going to them and talking to them. And then like halfway through that, like I met Fiona.
Hi.
And like, Lewis offered me a job and stuff, and I just was able to do those things instead of running from those things. And I managed to move in with you into a house and pay bills every month and keep a job going, keep streams going every Saturday for like 2 years. And there, it's like everything's blown up in a good way. Like everything's just really good. Like way better than I thought it would be. That moment where I was in the hospital, I couldn't have dreamed of anything like this. I'm not saying everything right now is perfect. Like I'm still not where I want to be. I'm under no illusion about that, but I at least can say without a shadow of a doubt that the therapy and the meds and everything I've been through made me better. I'm better, and I can do more things than I could do before, and I feel really cool about that. So that's kind of like the story, I guess. Sorry if there was like any gaps or anything. If you have any questions, just like feel free to let me know. We're paying attention to chat. Fiona's looking at chat, so I just wanted to kind of share that story of hope, I guess, of like knowing that you're not alone. Importantly, because that's the thing I was missing growing up, not knowing anyone else had this stuff going on in their brain, thinking like there was something wrong with me, like I was an alien, and then finding out that hey, actually, there's quite a lot of people like this was a big help. And yeah, I want to share this because I think ultimately, with all of the things I've gone through, I know that if there was just one person that sounded like they actually cared about me, I would have felt a lot better. And thankfully that came along later. Hi, Fiona. But yeah, I want to share this because I want anyone out there suffering right now, listening in chat or watching this on the VOD later, to know that you aren't alone. You aren't alone. There are so many people like you, and that's not a bad thing. It means that there are people that know how to deal with this stuff. It means that there are people that have experienced this stuff, and they can help you. And you can get through this. And I have been the darkest, almost the darkest possible point I could have been at, and somehow 5 years later or so, I'm here and alive and in a house of my own and paying bills and holding down a job. And what happened? How did that happen? And it's really cool. It's really cool, and I'm crying now because I'm thinking of, and just looked at Fiona's face, and I have her, and she's lovely. and if I had to go through all of that crap, if I had to go through all of that nonsense, to be able to come out the other side, and to be able to tell all you people that hey, you can do it, and to be able to have someone like Fiona and all this, then I mean it was worth it in the long run. Wish I hadn't gone through it, but still, at least it led to something. I love you very much.
I love you.
Thank you. And things got a bit worse a couple years ago, because my cat passed away, and my cat was a really amazing creature that was with me through everything. I had him for years. He was there when I had my first job, when I managed to get that. He was there through all of my therapy. He was there. He was the only one there, I felt like, when I went into hospital. And he was when I first met Fiona, and when Fiona first came round my house, instead of running away like he does with anyone else, he jumped up and sat with her on the bed. And I just knew right then that my little buddy was looking out for me and helping me get through everything. And he got me to this house, and he got me with Fiona, and then he passed away because he couldn't go on anymore. But but that made things a bit more difficult. I had like a kind of, I think I had a whole month where I just stayed in bed, and I couldn't move, and I didn't want to move, and I didn't want to do anything, and that was a really difficult time. But I think to try to try and regather the focus of this thought process, I think if that had happened and I hadn't have gone through all of the therapy, and I hadn't have known more about me, and I hadn't have had all the stuff that came before, and I had just, grown up and somehow got through it, and then my cat died, I that would have destroyed me. I would have ended up in hospital a lot quicker. I wouldn't have known what to do. I wouldn't have had all the things that therapy taught me about managing my thoughts and all things like that. It would have been really bad. So even though Ziggy passing away was an awful thing, because I had gone through all the therapy, because I found out more about myself, because I had learned all of these thought exercises and stuff like that, I was able to tidy it and file it in my brain and get through it. And I can look at it now a lot stronger, I think, than if I hadn't have gone through therapy. So therapy is very important. All of that stuff is very important. And I hope that story made sense. I kind of winged that as I went along, but I think the point is, therapy. I honestly think, I've had this thought before. Even if you're not mentally ill, even if you're not suffering from anything, I genuinely think if there was some kind of system where you could just go every week and just talk to someone and they just listen to you, I think that would solve a lot of problems. I think that would solve a lot of problems. Just having someone that you know that you can just talk to and they don't judge you, they're a complete stranger and they just listen. I think that'd be amazing. But anyway, the point is, if I hadn't have had all that, if I hadn't have had that, I wouldn't have been able to handle the rest of my life. So I think it's very important, if you have any notion, any idea of things that might be bothering you, might be difficult to do, I think the sooner you can get into therapy, the sooner you can start this process, the better things will be. The earlier you do it, the more life you'll have ahead of you, honestly. So yeah, Ziggy was amazing, and he got me through so much. But maybe this is a weird thing to think, but I like to think that he was very old at this point, and he was very ill, and I like to think that he basically lasted as long as he could to make sure that I was able to move in with Fiona, and then he knew that I could do the rest on my own. And I have been able to do the rest on my own. This Christmas, I'm going out for dinner with your family, and it's gonna be good, and I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
And last week we managed to go to the cinema, and we managed to watch the new Star Wars movie. And I've been able to get out of the house, and I've been able to do things, even if it's only once a month. I'm getting there, and I'm feeling like I can do things better now. And yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. That's my story. Do you have anything you want to share or add? It's okay if you don't.
It's hard to share and add.
Yeah.
I'm specifically bad at sharing, which is one of my issues that leads to the other issues. So I'm good.
That's fair. That's fine. You don't have to.
Share.
I'm gonna spend the next 2 minutes crying. That's all. So I didn't want there to be dead air.
It's fine. Look at all that love.
But that's what I mean. I want to pay it forward. I want to. There have been some amazing people, some amazing doctors and therapists in my life that have helped me get to this point, and if I can somehow then tell all of you guys in chat, hey, go do this, and then you do it, and then you feel better, that is worth it. That is amazing. Hold on, we had we've kind of lost viewers a bit since people have realized that we're not playing a game and stuff. But I don't care, because if there's one person that sticks around and there's just one person watching this and they hear what I'm saying and they go and get therapy and they feel better 2 years from now, then job done. That's amazing. So that's what I do all this for. It's really difficult and it's really sucky to cry on the stream and to share all this stuff that most people probably wouldn't want to share or need to share necessarily, but when I have like 120,000 people that follow me on Twitter and stuff like that, I almost feel like an obligation to try and help them out. I wanna make sure everyone else is okay too, because having been there, having knowing what is needed to feel better, I know that if I can just give someone out there like that little push and just be like, hey, just get on that waiting list, stick it out, just please. I promise things can get better. I promise that there's genuine hope. Even like I said, even in that moment where I was the darkest I'd ever been, the deepest depression I had ever been in, where I was starting to like almost hallucinate and just think that I was just over. And even in that point, there was just one doctor that was like, "Hey, try this," and it worked somehow. So I really think it's important. I really think it's important. Just do what you can. Keep fighting. Keep on keeping on. That's what I say. Keep on keeping on. That's what I've tried to follow ever since everything. I used to draw stupid cartoons when I was growing up, and like, it's kind of where Mr. Waffle came from, like a stupid breakfast person that was made of breakfast. And I drew like a little poster of them and stuck it up on my wardrobe, and it just said "Keep on keeping on," and like a picture of like Mr. Waffle essentially just smiling at me. And like I took that with me everywhere. I took that with me into the hospital, and I don't know. Maybe that's a silly thing to say. There's no real point to that. I just yeah, and I've just tried to follow that advice for as long as I could, and somehow it worked. I just tried to keep going even when it didn't seem like there was anywhere to go. Even if it meant I was just walking into a wall. At some point, randomly, that wall fell away, and I saw my path ahead of me. You okay, Fiona?
Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I realized that you're crying, and I realized that some of the things I said were very difficult, and I know you lived through the Ziggy moment too, and I know that must have been very difficult also. But I want to thank you for being there and for helping me through that, and for not giving up on me as well. Because, like I said earlier as well, I have a personality disorder. I've been told, that makes it difficult with relationships. And there have been times that have been really, really tough, where I've been really like spiteful and mean. It's an intense fear of abandonment. Basically, when me and Fiona started dating, it's like if she just says like, "Hey, I'm gone for like a week. I'm gonna go do this thing." I'm like, "Oh God, she's breaking up with me. She's never gonna see me again. This is her way to escape from me. I'm awful. I'm a terrible person. Why is she even with me?" That is a thought process that happens, and it's stupid because literally an hour later, I'll realize Fiona's amazing and I love her and she's great and I want to be with her, and I don't know where that comes from, and I haven't learned many things to deal with that one. A lot of my therapy has been more about the depression side of things, but I'm getting better at it, and I'm recognizing when it happens, and I'm knowing that just kind of detaching myself from it and just kind of sitting by myself for like 10 minutes, just in silence or just listening to music and just kind of letting that thought blow over me, I just come out of it and I feel fine. So yeah, it's intrusive thoughts. That's the hardest thing to deal with the depression and with the anxiety and with everything else. There are these intrusive thoughts that just pop up and out of nowhere they just happen. They're just like, "Hi, I'm going to tell you this thing now. You're going to think about this for the rest of the day. You suck." And it's so annoying. But one of the things I learned in the therapy was about these intrusive thoughts and about the thinking patterns. Things like black and white thinking is one of the things that really stuck with me. A lot of the ways I thought before therapy was, this is either absolutely amazing or I'm the worst thing ever, and there was never a middle ground. Cognitive therapy, that's the thing. I should have said that. Cognitive behavioral therapy. That's the thing I've gone through multiple times. And that is where they basically essentially teach you, hey, here's what your brain is doing. Here's how to let it just do its thing, and then it will shut up. Like, instead of, hey, here's your brain screaming at you for the whole day, it at least makes it smaller and helps you deal with it more. The sucky thing is that it never goes away. It's always there, but the therapy at least helps you deal with it better.
But it doesn't always work for everyone.
No. Well, that's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
first therapy I had didn't work for me. Second therapy hardly worked for me. Is based on the therapist. It's based on if it's group therapy or one-on-one therapy. There's so many different parameters and like different ways to do therapy that it honestly, again, it took me like 5 years to find one that I could actually talk to. And even then, there are sessions where I'd go in and I'd just sit and stare at him in silence for an hour and then go home. And he'd the next week I'd be like, "Yeah, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. Let's talk now." And it was difficult. It was a process. It's not something that you just get everything out in the first session. Hey, you're cured. That's never going to happen. But you got to just keep going with it, and you got to keep going session by session, day by day, and eventually somehow something sticks, and you're like, "Huh, actually, let's think this way about this thing." Yeah, stuff changes. It's good. But yeah, just to go back to the previous comparison about like broken legs and stuff, it's not the same. You go into, you're in an accident, you go into A&E, they cast up your leg, 6 weeks later, it's fine, you're done. But with this stuff, it's just there. And it's going to be there until I'm 80, until I'm 90, however long I live. It's going to be there. But every year that passes, every experience I go through, helps that voice get a little bit smaller, a little bit less powerful. Every experience that I go through that's traumatic or difficult, I'm able to handle it a little bit better than the previous time. Like, every time I remember, like, the patterns of, like... So Fiona goes away for a summer job, and she's there for, like, 10 weeks or whatever. And we've lived together for, 3 years now? 4?
4?
No, we've been together for 4 years, but we've lived together
Okay.
for 3 years. And the first year that she did that, I had just moved into a new house. My cat had passed away like a few months previous. And then Fiona was telling me, hey, I'm going away for like 10 weeks. You can imagine, with all the things I've talked about how my brain works, that was like alarms in my head, like, oh God, everything's terrible. And I was a really bad person there, honestly. I dealt with that really badly. And I couldn't handle it. I needed Fiona to come home every week and make sure like there was food for me and stuff like that. But then last year, Fiona went away again, and I was like, okay, a bit more difficult, but I think I can do it this time. And that was when Pokemon Go was out, and I actually managed to leave the house without you here. You were away, and I managed to walk down the block and back. And then this year when you went away, I don't think there was any issue at all. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'll order food in every week. Hey, don't worry, you can come back whenever you want. I'm sorted. And then you came back at the end of it, and hey, we were fine. So yeah, it's like exposure therapy almost. Like every year that passes, I just get better at it. I hope you'll agree.
Yeah.
Sorry if I was speaking on your behalf there, but
It's okay.
yeah, so that's good. Anyway, what we're gonna do now, is we've spent like kind of an hour talking about my own story, my own experience, my experiences with depression and anxiety and all that, and what I've been through. I hope that I've at least offered some kind of hope, some kind of direction. I will say, just get what you can, get on the waiting list, do whatever you need to do, and just keep fighting. Just keep believing in other people, because eventually they'll come through. Eventually someone will phone you up and you'll be like, yeah, you got an appointment next week, and it's like, oh, okay, done. And yeah, just keep fighting. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna load up a game called Please Knock on My Door. It's a game that came out earlier this year, and it's about a nondescript, like, floating entity of a person going through life, but they have anxiety and depression. And it's kind of a choose your own adventure kind of thing. There's lots of choices to make, but you have this mental health getting in the way, and so some choices become more difficult the more you do them. Parties and stuff are anxious. Anyway, no point explaining it. Let's just go into it, shall we? Are you okay, Fiona? Do you want to drink or anything? Do you want to chill? Do you want to take like a little breather before we go into the game? And then you can come back, and I think you might need to blow your nose or something, so go and do that. That's fine. I'm sorry, Fiona.
It's okay.
You don't have to come back if you don't want to. I can do the rest of the stream myself. I talked about my story.
Okay. As long as if you need me, you know where I am.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the stream, guys.
Thank you, Fiona. I love you. Unplug your mic. There you go. You done? Yep. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay, let's load this up. So yeah, I hope that was okay for everybody. I know it's difficult stuff to talk about. I appreciate all that. I know there are some people saying that this stream was boring and that they just wanted video games or whatever. It's fine. They heard that, Fiona. It's not coming out on the mic, but I appreciate your thought. Sorry, Fiona, you were too far away. It picked up a little bit, but it didn't catch all of it. I'm sorry. Are you okay? What do you want? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so basically, yeah, the stream's not for you. If you wanted to come here and have non-boring times with video games, then sorry, that's not what I'm offering, and I'm not going to feel guilty about not offering that, because this is way more important. Anyway, on with the games. Speaking of playing video games. Right, this game takes a little while to load, so just bear with me a little bit. Okay. Come on, come on. Where is it? Okay, not quite the way. So, for those that don't know, I also experience a lot of anxiety whenever anything goes wrong on a stream. This here right now, where it's not fitting to the window, is making me feel really awful. I'll try and fix it. Hold on. Oh dear, this is fine. You know what? It's good to talk. Honestly, I feel way more energetic having said all that stuff for the last half hour. Being able to share all that and talk about all that, I feel good. I feel good, honestly. Thank you for giving me that opportunity to talk about all that stuff. And I hope you can have similar opportunities soon, be it with a family member, a friend, even a stranger, anyone you can talk to. Meanwhile, nope, not happening. Ooh, okay. Can you see that? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna Alt-Tab in and out of it to check that I've done it right. Again, I have a lot of anxiety. I have to keep double checking everything. Fiona sees me when I'm doing streams and I'm like clicking things on and off that are totally fine, but I have to like triple double check them because I'm worried everything's gonna look awful. But yeah, I think there we go. The mouse is moving and everything. Okay. Okay, time to get back into serious mode a little bit again. Right, I'm gonna get comfortable. I'm gonna take a drink, and there we go. Okay, so this game is called Please Knock on My Door. I hope I've got all the sound levels okay. The music's going to be a bit quiet because I don't want it to overpower my voice. But there's also a narrator, so I hope I've got the level for that okay. So there's a few ways we can play this game. The story is basically like you just go through it, you can make choices. But all choices are available and you can just experience whatever path you want to experience. The game is where everything's completely transparent. You can see all the numbers, you can see what choice will affect what. So yeah, it's not really what I want to show off, because what I want to show off is the experience. This, I think, is the most important thing I can do today. The experience is basically, your mental health stat is hidden. Just like real life, you don't have like a little meter next to you saying, hey, you're about this depressed right now. No, what this will be is some choices will be available and some won't, and you won't know why, and whatever. We'll just get into the game and you'll see how it works. And what this is supposed to be is to show off basically what it's like to live with depression and anxiety. And for those that may not have experienced this and are watching this and are like, what the heck has Zoey been talking about for the last hour? I hope this game will maybe shed some light on that. Anyway, let's go.
This place brings back memories, doesn't it? How long have you been here? I'd say it's about time you get moving. Perhaps you'd like to get something to eat.
Yeah. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to turn that narrator up quickly. Just turn the master up a bit like that. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, little voice in my head basically
Your
let me know
hallway,
I have something to eat.
quiet as usual. Your living room. Sometimes you just need a break to regain your strength.
I should really go and get something to eat, I think. I'm feeling it. I gotta find where my kitchen is. There we go.
Your kitchen. You used to spend hours looking out through that window. It's been a while since the last time we spoke. How's your mental fortitude these days? I barely even remember how it works. What I do remember is that things like this tend to be very personal. I assume that some actions which others would find relaxing might be horribly demanding for you.
Yeah.
I suppose that in order to get to know you better, I would need to learn what actions are good for you and which ones aren't. I feel like I need that, if I am to remember.
Sandwich. There we go. Pretty simple to make.
If you don't eat regularly, you'll simply starve. Starving increases all the negative effects on your mental fortitude. Just keep that in mind.
The silence while eating always makes my mind race until I lose my appetite or I manage to break my train of thought. Keep eating, I guess.
Forcing yourself to think about difficult things come at a momentary risk. You're likely to lose some of your current fortitude, but you will probably also increase the amount you receive long term.
This is a little bit of a tutorial, just trying to get us in the swing of the game, letting us know how to do things. A little voice in my head just gently nudging me along, letting me know what to do. Probably play on the computer for a bit. I guess we'll play this like I do in real life and just spend most of the day on the computer. I used to spend time here because it was fun, but now it's mostly a means to an end. The more time I spend here, the more tired I become, until I can't force myself to do anything but sleep. At this point, I would probably keep playing. It's convenient. A good way to deplete my remaining energy. Soon I'll be tired enough to go to sleep. But knowing me, I would probably go for a little bit more. I'm exhausted. And it's time for bed.
Exhaustion, the natural result of not sleeping enough. Negative impacts on your mental fortitude will be greater when you're tired. Please remember to sleep, for both our sakes.
I will do that now. Finally. I've been having trouble falling asleep lately. I always get stuck, thinking about pointless things, mostly about what has happened during the day. I look at the clock and suddenly, an hour has passed. You know what? This hits a little bit too close to home. Literally last night, I ended up finally getting into bed at about 6 in the morning. And I knew that I had to stream today. And I lied in bed, staring at the darkness, just thinking about how this stream could be awful. How, oh, no one's gonna like this stream, no one's gonna like me talking about my mental health, I should just not do it. And an hour passed, and before I know it, the sun was up, Fiona was up. I looked at my phone, it was 11 AM. Finally fell asleep, looked at my phone, 3 PM. I had 4 hours of sleep, I think, last night. Good. And still, even after I woke up, all I could think about was, this stream's gonna be terrible. Literally, my thoughts were so paralyzing that I couldn't even sleep. It was a very difficult night, honestly. And it always comes just before I got something important to do the next day. Absolutely fine sleeping the rest of the week. Absolutely fine. Monday through Friday. But come to Saturday, knowing I got a stream the next day, oh, look at this, suddenly you can't sleep. You can't do the thing that you're supposed to do. Anyway, an hour has passed. It's been happening more and more frequently, and the result is always the same. I miss the alarm, and I oversleep. At some point, frustration of not being able to sleep becomes the thing that keeps me awake. Yep. Yet somehow I just drift away. Again, like this morning, like pretty much every month for the last 5 months, I've been feeling this. I feel so tired. My eyes are so heavy, and I'm just lying there and I can't sleep. And somehow I'll wake up a few moments later having just slept for a couple hours, but I won't ever remember when I actually fell asleep. Yeah. Insomnia. Good times. But somehow I suddenly managed to drift away. My alarm now? 6:45. Crikey, that's early.
Monday. Misery.
And it's a Monday. Great.
The temptation of staying home is oppressive. Work starts at 8, and it takes you about 30 minutes to get there. Leave before 7:30 to be sure you make it on time. Oh, right, one more thing. Don't forget about your plans for Saturday.
Yep. Yep, that's... Wow. I'm going to turn up the narrator just a little bit more because... obviously very important to the game. There we go. So yeah, waking up Monday, you know you got work. You know there's something very important you got to do on the weekend, but you still got to get through this week still. and you've only got like an hour in the morning to even be ready. I've definitely experienced this, and I should probably eat something before I go to work as well, and that's going to be like another 20 minutes, and when do I have time to just have fun? What even is fun? Just another sandwich, I think, is all we got time for. I promised to call him today. He left me a message. I didn't answer. Wonder what he wanted. Last time I told him that I didn't hear the phone, or that it wasn't charged. Can't remember. Whatever I say, whatever excuse I make, it's a lie. Mixed feelings. I wonder what he wanted. Maybe it was important. If it was, he'll call again. Dad always calls again. Okay, so yeah, I had heard that this game hits close to home, but I didn't realize it would be a copy of my exact life. Yeah, so since moving out with Fiona, I've moved away from my parents, and it's honestly, even when I lived with them, it was difficult to talk to them. But now it's even harder, and anytime they wanna just find out how I'm doing and stuff, they'll send an email. It will take me like 4 days to just reply and say I'm okay. Anyway, we're gonna be late for work. No time to think about that. Here I go again. Another week. Wish I could stay at home. What if I told him I'm sick? I wouldn't have to deal with the pressure. I wouldn't have to go to work. Then, they'd understand. Failure. I don't want to fail. I don't want others to see me fail. So, better if I just don't go into work at all. Just tell him I'm sick. That's fine. I guess I'll have a shower. At least that's something. At least I'll do something good today.
If you don't clean yourself daily, your colleagues might notice.
What colleagues?
Reeking with foul odours will worsen all losses of your mental fortitude. Showering regularly is the only sure way to avoid that.
Yeah, or I could just keep saying I'm sick and then they never have to smell me and then I don't have to shower and then that's even more time I can just spend in bed. I guess I gotta brush my teeth too. I mean, I'm just gonna be in all day. I guess I'll just play a couple video games again. I feel like I'm just simulating my own life now, but in a way I hope that kind of adds to it. I only killed an hour. I just played games and it's still the morning. And I'm still bored and I'm still tired. I'll just... maybe a quick nap. That was no time at all. It's only 11. What do I do? I mean, I could maybe call my dad. I guess there's some stuff in the sink. Right, I can leave it. I don't need to do that yet. Oh, that option's actually locked because... I guess because of earlier. I find it too difficult to call my dad. Fair enough.
Glad you don't have to be outside in this weather?
I mean, that's something. There's no one to chat to that will at work. Just unlocked an achievement for staying at home. Not really sure that should be rewarded, but I guess that's the point. For those asking, this game is called Please Knock on My Door. It's currently on sale in the Steam sale, actually. About £6, I think. So far, it's a really accurate simulation. See, at this point, if no one was home and like Fiona wasn't here and wasn't doing any work today, I would literally just spend the next like 10 hours on the computer. Is that bad? That's pretty bad.
I love autumn. I know you do too. Those few precious weeks when all the leaves turn into a vibrant mix of red and yellow. Doesn't it make you happy that there is such a large tree just outside the kitchen window? I can't help but look forward to what it will look like. Somehow, it's kind of empowering to know that something can stand alone and still look so beautiful, if only for a brief moment.
Yeah. I guess it's not all bad. I got the day off work. This game, about a girl who arrives home after a year abroad. The house is empty. Quiet lingers in every room. Keep playing. Suppose this is what it feels like. To anticipate meeting your family and finding nothing but notes and diaries. She doesn't seem to feel lonely, just curious. Maybe worried. The silence worries me. I finished it. Killed some time, I guess. Back to reality. Do you think that was describing Gone Home? Yeah, I guess I'll actually cook something today. Oh. Or not. I wonder why it's blocked that off. I can't seem to go through it. Maybe I just need to sleep, I guess. You know what, I had a meal this morning. I didn't do anything today. I didn't need to eat that much. Let's just go to sleep.
Tuesday.
Ugh.
Tired. Like a slightly more sluggish Monday, if you can believe it. For now, just aim for Saturday. Try to get back to your routine. It might help. And don't miss work.
I guess. Yeah, fine, we should go. We should eat, we should shower, we should do all that. Yeah, I showered yesterday, I didn't do anything to... Maybe I didn't need to shower, that's fine. Maybe I should get rid of that chair. Takes up unnecessary space. Hasn't been used in a long time, unsurprisingly. Not since she was here. It used to be her spot. Front of the window. Sun embracing her as if surrounded by a golden halo. Will anyone else... Stop thinking about this. Well, I guess gotta go to work at some point. I am in this month's evaluation meeting with John, my boss. We're sitting in his office on the 5th floor, just next to the conference room where we will be doing the showcase on Thursday. Being easily agitated and self-centered, these meetings seldom amount to more than a childish scolding. He almost shouted when he told me that my scores are not up to par with the company's standard. I assume he needs to present these to his own boss, which is the reason he cares in the first place. He taps repeatedly on his wooden desk, eyes fixed on me. I stare back in silence. Hey Dad, I had a meeting with my boss today. It was for the monthly evaluation thing. Stressful, mildly speaking. I used to like it, probably because I used to get graded good, or at least decent, but now I don't even know what to tell him anymore. So, said nothing. He tore into me for a good 30 minutes before sending me back to work. I don't know how to fix this. Only that I have to if I want to keep my job. He made that abundantly clear. Just get this done before Thursday. I got to work on the showcase as well. Oh yeah. Oh man. Today was the last warning. Don't screw up. We're gonna grab some drinks on Saturday night. Join us. So that's what the plans for Saturday are. What if we just don't? Just absent-mindedly fiddle with the stuff on my desk instead of doing work. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's just showing us what the work life is about.
Try to reach out to your colleagues while at work.
I know.
It's the main way for you to increase your mental fortitude. Or at least, that's what I suppose. I also assume that there are risks involved. Things can't always go your way, you know.
Okay. Well, you know what? We made it through that day, even though we had that stupid meeting. We did make it through, and I mean, all the plans are still on for Saturday and stuff. We could still do something with this. We could still. But you know what? I'll have a proper meal tonight. Stop eating sandwiches and stuff. Oh, there's no clean plates. Do I have to? No. Okay.
So, what do you want to do this evening? Play some games? Watch TV?
Sounds good.
Those are supposed to be fun, right? Now that I think about it, back when we first met, I feel like you talked me into thinking that they're all just pointless ways of wasting time. Do you still feel like that?
I don't know. I mean, game I played yesterday was pretty good. Just everything else I did was kind of pointless. Let's try and make a proper meal today.
I suppose I'm stuck with remembering this now. Don't expect to get away with failure.
Yep. So for the next 4 days, all I'm gonna think about is how stupid I am that I dropped that plate. Well, should clean it up at least. Maybe just a sandwich today then. Sorry for if people in chat asking me if I'm okay. I am okay. I'm just trying to get into the story. I think it's better if I try and approach it as I would approach it when I was feeling very depressed. I think that's a better experience rather than just pretending it's like, oh, you just dropped a plate. It's I think it's better if I try and add my own what I would think in that situation when I'm feeling particularly anxious and stuff. I think that's better than just pretending everything's okay. But yeah, don't worry about me. I'm fine. Let's try and get some games in before we go to bed. Got this game on sale. Storyline's decent, gameplay mundane. Wasting time, I hope it's alright. Bought a lot of things in the Steam sale. Played one of them for 10 minutes. Don't keep me engaged.
Maybe you would feel better if you got some sleep.
Yeah, that's about the only thing left to do in this house. John, boss at work, he never cares. Untrue, he does care. It's my last thought before I go to bed.
Wednesday. Why? Halfway to what, exactly? Rest? A break? Are you starting to realize that this week is no different from any other?
Yep. Spent 5 days going through it all just to repeat it all again after your 2-day break. Well, time for work again. Just gotta get over hump day. Just hump day. As soon as Wednesday's done, it's just 2 more days, and then it's weekend. It's fine. Totally fine. Everything's fine.
You need a shower.
Yeah, but I also need to eat, and I've also got to be at work in like half an hour. Sound of birds. They're serene, calming, peaceful. I'm happy they exist. They keep me company, they fill the quiet. They make me feel less lonely. Pathetic. Creatures I can't talk with, let alone knows of my existence. Still, I can't imagine looking out through that window and not hear their voices. It's dumb. Can't help it, but that's the reason why I hate the rain. It silences everything. It makes every bird go quiet. It makes me feel alone.
You're making me worried. Try to take better care of yourself. Your mental state is looking grimmer by the day.
Well, I'll have a shower at least.
Seriously, what are you doing with your life? Leave home now.
So much to do before I even get to the door. And then getting out of the door is a whole nother problem on its own. Still got to brush my teeth as well. Ugh.
You've already missed one day.
I won't miss this one, I'll just be a little
You know
late.
it will only get worse the more days you miss out. Why would you do that to yourself?
My program's broken again. I've already asked Will for help twice today, and he just got back to work at his own desk, and I've only known him for a few months, but so far he's been uncommonly dependable and forthcoming. He cracks his knuckles and stares at his screen as he usually does when deep in thought. He mentioned that he has a deadline due for this afternoon. I should probably just try and fix it by myself. I don't want to bother him, he's already done a lot. Dad, did you ever feel worthless? What was it like? How did you deal with it? How did you get through? Did you? You called today and I wanted to ask these questions, but I couldn't, so we talked about other things instead, like the weather, Grandma's birthday, why eating too much red meat is bad for you, the important things, but right now I just want to go home and sleep and never wake up. I feel like you're not talking to me. What's up? Please don't be late again. Ugh. Well, did I at least get the program working? I hope I did. Oh, turn it off. Turn it back on. Well, that's my day. Quick moment to appreciate all of the people in chat who are still sticking around. I totally understand if this game is almost too relatable and you don't wish to watch it. I totally understand that. If you hopefully tune in like the last half hour, I'll be reading out messages and stuff like that. So yeah, totally understand if this is bringing up bad memories and stuff. That's not quite my intent. My intent is more for the people that don't already experience this stuff, so they can understand it a bit better and realize that a lot of the thoughts, a lot of the emotions are almost uncontrollable. There's just that little voice in your head just constantly telling you things, and you can't shut it up, and you have to do all this stuff, but you want to just sleep. And anyway, time for another sandwich, I guess. Not gonna make another meal.
Sometimes you
Not
can
after last
lie to
time.
yourself, enough for it to sound reasonable. Sometimes it's born from an experience which etches itself in like a trauma. If someone asks you to come to a party, the healthy way to respond would be to trust that the person asking actually wants you to come. He's only asking to be polite. I don't belong in that crowd anyway. But then you decide to go because secretly you still want to. You find yourself sitting quietly in the middle of a filled room, wondering if it would be okay for you to speak. But everyone is talking, and you don't want to be rude, because then you might not get invited anymore. So you just sit there with your ugly, fake smile.
And then, because you didn't have any fun and because you would have sat there bored, you don't go the next time because you just assume it will be the same. And then you fall into a spiral. I'm getting a bit tired, but if I go to bed, I'll have to wake up and go to work. I'd rather just... I mean, if I'm awake right now, I don't have to be at work until 8, so I can get some more games in. As long as I get like 6 hours sleep, that's fine. If I stop, everything will come clashing down again. It always does. I can't just play games all day. I'm at my limit. Maybe some TV, maybe something good's on. Maybe a comedy will cheer me up or something. Halfway through. Just a few more days now. Like counting down a clock, just thinking about Saturday. Makes me nervous. Doesn't seem like a comedy. Well, that was kind of a waste of time. Guess I just gotta get ready for work tomorrow again. The Saturday's not too far away. We're on to Thursday now. It's fine. Something good will happen on Saturday, right? Dad called when I barely have the strength to speak, and he wants to talk about birthdays and nothing to celebrate. Just take my mind off things. Failures, broken code. But as soon as our call ends, it all comes flooding back. An endless tide, moving in a circle, passing by, unstoppable, unending. I don't see the end. Overslept a bit. Gonna be late for work.
Thursday. Try not to remember that this will all repeat itself soon enough.
I have to be, oh man, I have to be good for John. I can't be late again, but I haven't eaten, I haven't showered. I showered yesterday, that's fine. I can get a sandwich at work. Let's just go. This is the day of the presentation. I can't be late. Will's counting on me as well. What if I screw it all up? What if I forget something? Would Will be better off without me? He can just do it by himself. I'd fail. I'd screw it all up. They would stop talking to me. They'd detest me. They'd hate me. Will can do it by himself. Damn. Wow. I actually tried. Getting out of bed, I thought, you know what? We've got to do this. I got to go to work. And as soon as I get to the door, it's just like, but... and that little voice in your head creeps in and... Man. It's uncontrollable. It's just there. And I love what's... I think I just missed the comment, so I'm paraphrasing here, but I think someone said earlier they love the narrator because it kind of mixes in negative thoughts and positive thoughts together, and like at a certain point in your illness you kind of can't differentiate the two, and so you trust the negative thought because, I mean, you've trusted the positive thought all your life. How could your voice be wrong? And yeah, really easy to fall into that trap. At least I can get that sandwich if I don't go in. You know what? At least do something good with my day. Let's try and make that meal again, and let's not frickin' drop it this time. Well, at least I can carry a plate. I once told Mum that I had intrusive thoughts, on the brink of being obsessive even. She told me that those thoughts aren't a problem as long as I don't follow through on them. That was the only time I ever mentioned it to her, but not the last time I thought about... No, come on. Still Saturday. We still got Saturday. Let's force this away. Force this away. Let's look at the tree. Maybe there's some birds. Maybe there's some nice birds outside singing.
See the guy wearing pink down by the tables? Do you remember him? You really should. You used to work together. You used to be friends.
You probably wouldn't even recognize me if I went out there. It's fine. If I get the shower done now, then I can go into work tomorrow pretty fresh, even if I miss my alarm. I think Will's doing his presentation in an hour or two. You'll be fine without me, right? I don't need to check up or anything. This is... Nah, I don't want to play any games. I've played them all. What else is there to do in this house? Maybe there's some daytime TV that's just simple to digest. Nice day out. Guess I'll play some games. Can I just sleep? If I sleep through it, I won't know if the presentation went wrong. I won't be able to answer the phone. I'll just assume it all went fine. Let's try it. Yeah. Couldn't get back to sleep. It's midnight. If I could have just had a couple more hours, I would have been fine. What do I do now? No one will be on. Maybe it's like, maybe Dave's got like QI on or something.
Since when did you start to enforce a lock on your own mouth? You were such a talkative kid. But that all changed round high school time. And now, years later, the key is lost. And you even start to tell yourself the most heinous lies. That your friends probably all really hated you. Fear chat messages. Fear seeing people you knew on the street.
Damn.
When you go that far and distort the past. Bonds that used to be strong get eroded and easily broken. The worst part about it all is that those people might really miss you. But you will never know.
Okay. But like, I guess wanting to chat, I feel like the next couple of days might get a bit darker. So, if that makes you uncomfortable, totally understand if you want to tune out. I had just left my dad's place after a short visit. Silence filled the car, leaves flying by, shifting in red and yellow. Twilight colored the dusty windshield. Dad just told me he had cancer. I remember sitting in my room, crying my eyes out, playing a clunky tune on my guitar, tune I wished I had played for him. He beat it. He's strong. He'd never be beat by something like that. Right?
If you force yourself further down, you might not be able to get back up again. After you pass a certain point, the endless cycle of sleep sets in. Don't end up there, whatever it takes. This late, and he still goes out to have a smoke. I suppose it works as a stress reliever, trading life to take the edge off. Can you blame him?
Guess I'll try for some more sleep. Had a little midnight snack. Walked around the house a bit. It counts as exercise, right? At least I won't be late for work today.
Friday. Finally. This week is almost over. But what comes next? You'll just have to wait and see.
As if they even want me at work today. I'll probably go in and they'll just tell me how much the presentation sucked. Or Will be like sad and crying because I wasn't there. I betrayed him and let him down. Failed. Gotta wash these plates as well because no one else is here to do it. Do I even have any bread left? I have half a sandwich. Alright, work. No time for anything else. At least I showered yesterday. Come on, I can do it this time. Just go in, get it over with. Everyone will yell at me, but Saturday's tomorrow. It's fine. I'm standing in front of the large metal doors of our office building. My legs feel like iron, hand drying cold. Clouds above shifting dark and grey. It's gonna rain soon. I want to take another step forward, but can't take another step forward. They won't even miss me. That's fine. I'll call in sick again. Everything's fine. Unlocked an achievement called Overwhelmed. What do I do now? Place seems darker than usual. I guess it's raining.
Even when it's raining, she's still there. Probably waiting for someone. That's very kind of her. Hope whoever she's waiting for has the decency to bring an umbrella.
I don't know what to do now. No one at work will want to talk to me. We've got nothing here. Nothing on TV. I would have been through that yesterday. I guess play some more games. And more. This is my life. This is my Friday instead of going to work. I know this is difficult, guys, but I think it's important. We're raising money for charities like the Mental Health Foundation. There are many people out there in the UK, all around the world, that
Years later,
are alone like this.
while poaching through your parents' cellar, through your old things, You might find an old t-shirt with smeared scribbles and names on it. Thoughts left for you from your childhood friends, kept down there for decades, waiting for the right moment to remind you that the hate you see in other people's eyes might not be real. Cutting yourself off from the world can be a good form of self-defense.
Yep.
Oh yes, it's also a good way of ending up like this. Empty apartment, empty rooms, empty life. Until you find that memento and wake up. That is, if you ever find it.
I can find it. I'll find it. I'm not giving up yet.
See the guy with the cigarette down near the doors to the right? I feel like we see him here almost every day. He never does anything but smoke.
Still raining. At least the tree's still there. Looking good. Another half sandwich. I guess that's my dinner. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, loneliness, isolation just exacerbate it. Hiding inside the house, not going out and doing stuff, makes me feel better temporarily, because hey, I didn't have to go through all that anxiety. But next day, day after, 3 days after, 4 days after, the next month, I will feel terrible for not being able to do it. And as I experienced with going out with Fiona to the Star Wars movie last week, just, well, we originally planned to go out on Friday. I couldn't do it. I didn't do it. Then Saturday we were streaming, and then Sunday we planned to go out again, and movie showed at 8, and it got to 7:45 before I finally got the energy to go in the shower and actually get ready. That was after like an hour of crying and saying that I could never leave the house ever again, which wasn't true. It was my anxiety trying to protect myself, trying to pretend like I would be better not seeing Star Wars. But I mean, I went to the cinema, I watched Star Wars, I loved it. I had a great time. I had a date night with Fiona, going out watching a movie. It was great. And it's those thoughts at the beginning before you go, it's so stupid. They're wrong. That's the thing. Like, I trusted fully in those thoughts like years ago, and I thought, listen, my brain talking, it must be right. I will do everything you say. And now I'm realizing that it's like there's a whole nother me in there that I need to shut up. But I watched it. It was good. And games like this moment here with this guy, just thinking about how like all of these problems would be solved if he just called his dad, spoke to someone, went outside, went to work, spoke to someone, just did something. It's really genuinely just, it's difficult, it's tough, but if I had just, I should have just called my dad or something. I should have gone to the presentation. I should have just done it. Time's ticking away. Trickling away like syrup. Taunting me. Daring me to go further. We'll keep going, right? When's it enough? When will you let me go? Just let me go to bed. Okay. See, now this is an interesting thing because, I mean, it's in caps. It's telling me I should probably stop, but at the same time, it's only 5:30. It's 5 p.m. and I have this difficulty with my depression a lot as well. Like, sometimes I feel like I want to just sleep, and then I end up sleeping for 10 hours, and then I miss something cool happening, and like, yeah, my body at that moment was telling me go to sleep, just do nothing, but I would have had a lot more fun if I just didn't, you know? It's 5 p.m. But at the same time, if I need the sleep, I should sleep. That's one of the things I'm having trouble. That's still one of the things I have trouble, like, managing with my mental health. Like, because it's you're not expected to be able to just be on, to just be able to just go and do stuff every day. That's impossible. People shouldn't be able to do that. Like, it's okay to have breaks sometimes. It's okay to just have a day where you're just like, yeah, screw it, I'll just hang around in my pajamas and do nothing, you know? People need that. It's important to have a break, especially when you're working like 5 days a week or whatever. But the tricky part is the line, the balance, knowing how many of those days to have. That's the part I find difficult, finding that balance between being a normal person but also being healthy and not overworking myself. The whole of my YouTube, the whole of the first 2 years doing YouTube, I saw everyone else in the Yogscast, everyone else on the network doing a video every frickin' day. Some channels doing 2 every day. You know, one at 6, one at 8, whatever. Every channel except me. I couldn't do it. I could manage like 1 a week. At my best, I managed like 3 a week. And the thing is, I was angry at myself. I was angry at myself that I couldn't do what these other people did. But that was just making me feel worse. And the videos that I were doing were enough. They were awesome. They were funny. And I was earning enough money for, like, living and stuff. Like, I didn't need to do more than that. But for some reason, because I was comparing myself to other people, I thought that I was somehow inferior. That, like, you know, I wasn't doing enough. I suck. I need to do more. I was overworking myself. And then I just stopped. I just couldn't handle it anymore. Took a couple months off. Started Twitch. Now I'm in a schedule with that where I do that 3 times a week and it's just live and I don't have to do all the editing work and it just feels better. It's okay if you can't do what other people can do because you can find the thing that works better for you. Not every brain can cooperate and work in the same way, in the same function, you know? It's like bodies, you know, like, you know, Usain Bolt can do the, you know, 100 meter in like 9 seconds or whatever. Nobody else can do that. It's not. No one else is expected to do that. It's okay if you can't do what other people can do because you can do something else better than them. You just gotta find what that is. Anyway, still stuck about this decision. Don't know what the best option here is, honestly. I think going to bed at 5 p.m. is ridiculous, so I'm gonna keep going. Tired. No, exhausted, drained, numb. Now I'm ready to sleep. Couldn't get myself to enter that building. Staying home. Both of these are wrong. That's the thing. You reach a certain point and everything you do is terrible and there's no good thing you do. Like, neither of these are positive things. Staying home wasn't the right call, and I shouldn't keep saying that I'm weak all the time. Staying home was what I needed at the time, but not the end. That would be the best thing to say. Like, it's the right call sort of, but I can't keep doing it would be the best thing to say. I don't know. I guess it's all about how your brain perceives it, like what direction it comes from. Like, it's weird because even though this is a depressing thought, a negative thought, it's spun really positively. Using words like right, you know, correct, it was the right thing to do. And your brain will say that to you, and it will be like positive reinforcement, but it's positive reinforcement for a negative thing. Same thing when I don't go out, you know, like I was just saying like a couple minutes ago, like it's the right thing to do to not go out and watch Star Wars. You know, there'll be other people there, you'll hate it, you know? That's what my brain was telling me. I went out anyway, and I proved it wrong. There was no way that was the right thing to do. It was way better to watch the movie, and there was hardly any people in the cinema. It was good. Like, I don't know. Brains are annoying. Brains will twist and turn and try and make you think they know what's good for you, and it genuinely feels like sometimes there's two of me in my head, and one of them's like a little devil sitting on my shoulder and just being like, just don't. And I constantly have to fight that one. I constantly have to fight that demon and just be like, okay, look, if you're gonna be in my brain for the rest of my life, fine. Some days I'll let you do what you want to do, okay? But I'm not gonna let you take over my brain and do this for 7 days a week, okay? I think the important thing about, again, I don't want to speak for everybody here. Everybody totally different experiences, totally different mental health issues and stuff like that. But for me personally, I think what helped me the most was when therapy and stuff told me that, like, this is silly, but just to add on to the Star Wars thing, it's kind of like the Force. It's kind of like what they're going with the Force. You can be light side, you can be dark side, but you can't just, the Force isn't just one. You know, I can't just be happy all the time, but I also shouldn't just be sad all the time. It's about finding that balance of finding the days where it's okay to just be sad. I've got nothing else going on. I can just play video games and binge watch Netflix, whatever. As long as tomorrow I go out and watch Star Wars with Fiona. You know? I think it's a really important thing to... I think one of the mistakes I made when I was first doing like therapy and stuff was to kind of expect that the cure, the right way for me to be, is just happy all the time, smiley, oh, joyous, rainbows, unicorns, everything's wonderful, yay, look at me, oh, I'm so happy, but that's not me. That's not anybody. Nobody is like that. And I think it's important when you're totally depressed, I think it's important to realize that some of those feelings you're having there are okay to have, in moderation. It's okay to experience those things sometimes. It's balance in all things. It's okay to have a little bit of light side, a little bit of dark side, you know? As long as you just don't go too far into the dark side, basically. Star Wars reference. Anyway, this is a tough decision again. Just thinking of what my own brain would say. Probably say that it was a sign of weakness, that I suck for not doing it. So, yeah. I'll tell them I was sick or some other excuse, or... I always find an excuse not to answer when they knock. I guess that's... See, I'm too tired for this and then I just go to sleep and I don't think about it, but I think we should explore this a little bit more if we can. A knock on my door. What wouldn't I give for it to just slide open and let everyone in, but... no matter how hard I tried, doors always bolted shut.
Saturday. Sleep. Or at least that's what usually happens. But somehow, I get this feeling that a day will be different, for better or worse.
Well, we've still got that party, but no one's told me that I can't go to that, you know? Still got the invitation. I'll show up. You never know. When is the party, anyway? Guess I'll find out later, maybe. Let's have a shower, let's get fresh, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Just one day where I just do stuff. Why not? I used to hang out with Amy on days like this. Maybe she would have even been here to help me today. I wish she was.
Go on. Get yourself something to eat.
Brush first, eat later. Eat first, brush later. I don't want my food tasting minty. Let's eat first. Let's have a proper meal. Come on, let's do it. One day where I just be freaking normal for once. It's my last chance to look out that window. I should take it. It's like looking at my own life. People on cell phones, waiting for something to happen, waiting, a lone tree, clouds moving away so fast. If I'm hungry, I should eat, Hey, brush my teeth, get ready for the party, Going out, we're going to a party, everything will be good. Forgot what time the party was, if I was even ever told. I guess I'll just play some games until an alarm goes off or something. Oh my gosh, was that a knock on my door? Hello? Come on. Did it? The letterbox is jammed with newspapers, letters, advertisements. Some have been left strewn about outside the door. The mailman must have been fed up with my negligence to bring in the mail. This is the day I was supposed to move into my new apartment, yet I haven't even packed up all of my things. Nor do I have a truck to move my belongings. My entire body is feeling numb. Thoughts slow as tar. I want to sleep. I close the door again. Not before letting me back into your life. I'll move into my new apartment next weekend instead. Okay. So, how this game works, I think, is that it's a Monday to Saturday experience, and it constantly saves. You cannot start a new game. What you did in the last week will affect you in the next week. But what that means is that there's hope. We get a new week. We can start over. We can try again. is where our story begins now. There's another voice going on.
Knock, knock.
Okay.
Have you missed me? It makes no difference, of course. So, this is what your home looks like now, is it? What? You don't remember me? We have met a couple of times before, you know. No matter. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
Okay. So, as you'll notice, the little voice in my head starting to be a bit more invasive. This is interesting. I think we'll explore this for a couple more days. I am conscious of the time. I was hoping to end the stream at 11, but I think there's nothing else planned after this. There's no more streams, so maybe I keep going. I don't know what you guys think in chat. Interesting. I want to explore this. I want to make sure I can. Because I also have a lot of messages to read out. Two people at the same time literally just said the exact same thing. Both mods. Thank you. You can go on as long as you want. Okay. You know what? Why not? I think, again, what we showed there in the first week wasn't even what I really wanted to show. I think this stuff here with this intrusive thoughts now, with what's properly going on here, is kind of the meat of the story, and this is what I wanted to show off. So I think at the very least we're going to do a few more days. See how work responds. And things like that. I think it's very important to show this stuff, because this is the stuff that I have the most experience with. That little voice in your head that just doesn't let you do what you want to do. That guy's still there smoking.
You can barely even stand up straight. Go to bed, weakling.
Music change as well. Had I known that I wouldn't be moving this weekend, I could have spent yesterday doing other things, like spending time with Jenny. She did mention that they were going out. What did they do? Who were there? People she likes, not me. I would have regretted going. I know how things like this go by now. Staying home was the right choice. I love what the developer has done here. Those negative thoughts highlighted in red. That's literally. This is almost literally what they teach you in CBT. Those specific words that are intrusive thoughts. It's also the stuff like I would have regretted going instead of I might have regretted going. Just little things like that. Your brain can go deeper and more twisted, and you know, I would have regretted going is just certain. It's just straight up, you would have regretted it, don't think about it, you suck. Whereas, you know, just literally changing one word, I might have regretted going, but still would have liked to. You know, it suddenly becomes a completely different thought. Yeah. And that's one of the things they taught me in CBT, and in therapy and stuff. Just when you acknowledge those thoughts are happening, you can't stop them. Once they've happened, they've happened. It's not like you can rewind your thoughts, but just acknowledging what they said and analysing them, and like I did here, you know, if my brain suddenly said you would have regretted going to Star Wars, it's now like, I might have regretted going to Star Wars, but I mean, I really like Star Wars, so should have just gone, really. It's just, you suddenly just change the thought, and it's a completely different approach, and then the next day you just feel better about maybe being able to go, instead of just giving up and then never going. So, I don't know, again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I don't teach this stuff. I can only offer some insight as to what I've personally learned. I think seeing someone, if you are experiencing these thoughts, going to a therapist that teaches CBT, going to cognitive behavioral therapy, and actually learning this properly from someone that actually knows what they're talking about is a much better path. Obviously, I'm just simply stating that there are definitely thoughts out there. There are definitely things that they teach out there that can make you approach your illness, approach depression and anxiety from a completely different angle, and literally turn it upside down. And I really recommend, if you think you're experiencing stuff like this, if you can't shut your brain up, if you're having trouble sleeping because your brain can only think about all the terrible things you've done or whatever, which probably weren't even that bad, let's be honest, then yeah, please try and talk to someone. Just go to your GP, or just try and get on a waiting list or something, or go private if you can. Just talking to someone, it's what you need. Don't be alone. Don't fight this alone. It's very much hard mode. If you try and fight this alone, you can make it a lot easier if you just... It'll take you a couple goes, but eventually you'll find someone that will listen, and don't give up. I'm just going to take a little drink here. I honestly wasn't expecting this game to carry on much longer, but I think it will be for another week, so I'm just going to take a quick break. Give me a moment, guys. And again, if anyone's feeling uncomfortable by what's been said and what's been presented here, totally understandable. Don't force yourself to watch this if it makes you feel not good. It's fine. Look after yourself before you look after anything else. Okay. So, yeah, we're being forced to say that staying home was the right choice.
Monday, malignant. Then one day, I make you remember. Ah, expecting directions, are we? Okay. Don't bother going to work. No one expects you to be there for them anyway. Just stay here, where you can hear my voice.
Huh. Completely different to last Monday. Yeah, a lot more scarier and also a lot more controlling. A lot harder to ignore. I mean, it is a work day. Oh man, all the options are different as well. This is even more... I mean, I read a review about this game and like what it could offer and stuff, but this is even more than I expected. I really hope this... Again, like I said, I really hope this helps people understand mental health, even if they don't identify with it. I hope you can understand that there are people out there, your friends, your family, workmates, that have this in their head, and it's a fight every hour of every day to just shut it up and just get on with your life. And yeah, just please, if there's any decent bone in your body and you think anyone that you know might be suffering, or just be there for them, just listen to them. It will help them a lot. Yeah, someone in chat also has just mentioned that there are online CBT things. I haven't used those personally. I have looked them up.
I've heard starvation is one of the more painful ways to die.
Okay. Yeah, I've looked them up. Check those out.
Ah, yes. Why wash the dishes when they looked so good on the floor? Bloody disgusting.
Probably not the same as seeing someone in person, but it might at least teach you like the thoughts and the thinking, and give you like at least like an almost like training session before you do it properly. So yeah, I've noticed that the kitchen's completely changed as well. Well, not completely, but like it looks dirtier and stuff. And I have to... what's the point? Like, okay.
We're getting lower, steadily moving further down.
This week can't go the same way as last week and the one before that. I can't continue like this. This week has to be better. I still have the plan to move to my new apartment. I still have to clean up this apartment. I still have to pack my things. I still have to go to work. It's overwhelming. Let's just focus on the here and now. Let's just focus on food. Eating a meal. That's good. Try again. Nervous. Don't want to leave. I'm not sure if they even need me, but I have to do this. I can't just sit in my apartment all day playing the same game for 8 hours and then going to sleep. Let's try it. Let's just try again. Monday, new week. Go. Will's waiting for me at my desk. He follows me with his gaze as I approach my chair. He starts talking about last week's presentation, of course. Mainly that we have to do it again this Friday. Feels like ants are crawling up and down my entire body. Numbness spreads through my mind, slowly pulsing out from behind my forehead. Voices become distant. White sparks shoot across my eyes. Hey! His voice echoes. I turn to look at him. He bears the expression of someone expecting an answer. I faint. That's it. I can't control it. Overwhelmed. I've actually experienced that very much similar thing. When a place I used to work, you know, a boss talking to me, and I just go silent. My vision goes white, and I just feel like I'm gonna throw up. I don't know if it's quite a panic attack, but it's an anxiety attack. Bye, Fiona. Fiona's just going out to get food. Sorry about that. So, yeah, yeah, holy crap. This game. Anyway. Again, if you're not able to watch this, or if you want to wait to watch this at your own pace, this will be up on a VOD on the Yogscast channel, I believe. Sometime soon, next week. He caught me. Mid-fall. I barely remember what happened, only that I blamed it on low blood pressure from some pills I'm taking. Or a cold. I need to remember that's what I told him now. We have to do it again. I don't want to. I don't. I heard you had it rough last week. You okay? You alright? Come see me. Report all health problems, says my boss. Every time you're late, it goes in your records, says my boss. Hey, how are things going for you? Need to know. See, this is positive. There's people here that actually want to know about me, and I'm just not doing anything. Is there no way I can, like, go to them? Is that not an option? Can I throw these ones in the trash? No? Okay. More food?
Remember what our father once told us. Sometimes it's useful to put a lid on your emotions. You can make it easier to deal with draining situations. Just make sure to ease up the lid afterwards. And let yourself feel again. Seems like you only took half of our father's advice. He clearly warned you, didn't he? If you don't ease up that lid, you might just forget how to do it. Bottling up emotions works for a while. It can even be comfortable. But suddenly, the lid just won't come off anymore. Then, years later, the bottle breaks. And here I am.
Yeah. I think bottling emotions is... I think it's important to just feel sometimes. I think there's... When like I was living with my parents and stuff before Fiona, like I would be scared to cry. I wouldn't want my parents to know something was wrong. But with Fiona, like, it sounds backwards, but being able to cry more is better. Being able to just let it out and just cry is really useful.
This is stupid. If you want to be a part of someone's life, simply watching from a window is the most pathetic way of doing it. Why not go down there? Who am I kidding? Look at them. They're all busy. Too busy to waste their time with you. Why force yourself to keep going? Let the embrace of sleep take you in.
Nope. Nope. Still only 7:30. We're gonna try and have some fun today. Maybe we can chat to people. Let's try that. On startup, my computer automatically logs me into the chat service. This crap always auto-logs me in after it's forced an update. Stupid software. Before I can log out, that nostalgic sound blips from my speakers. Someone sent me a message. Hey man, I was thinking about you the other day. It's been a while since we last hung out. I walked by Brewcade. I remember that time you spilt my beer all over the pinball machines and we ended up hiding in the bathroom stalls. Those were the times. My mind races. My mind races? But fingers go stiff. Anyway, we'll have to go crazy again sometime, yeah? Don't be a stranger. Amy has logged out. I stare at the screen for 5 minutes. My fingers clutch into fists. I hammer down on my keyboard. Why is this so hard for me to just type something back? So it's time for sleep now. If you hadn't caught me, maybe I'd have been sent to hospital. Maybe that would have let me rest. Don't think about it. You'll caught me, it was fine.
Tuesday. Torn apart. Between seeking someone to confide in and rotting away in here. But I don't think there's any need to struggle. Just stay in bed. Forever.
No, We are going out, we are showering, we are doing everything. I'm not gonna let the voice win, just ignore it. Just don't care what it has to say.
Got a bit of a headache, have we?
Yeah,
Or
because you won't
perhaps
shut
you
up.
hoped you could muffle my voice. Are they prescribed or just common painkillers? Because I'm not sure if painkillers are enough to numb your pain. But you're adorable for trying.
I should throw it out. Keeps reminding me. Testament to past failures. Or I should just focus on eating. I should just focus on eating. Just have breakfast, go to work. That's all I need to think about. Jumbled voices, piercing like static, cafeteria. Jenny stands across the room with a group of friends, probably talking about last weekend. Wasn't even invited to the party anyway. I just realised that Saturday plan I had was moving out and I completely forgot. They smile as their eyes meet each other's, a good distance away. Amy stands by the door, but something's off about her. Could she be worried? She keeps looking at her clock. Wait, I think I saw Jenny glance my direction. I observe Amy. Dad, what do people do when they're nervous? Freeze, analyze, grasp for control, to make the best choice? Our eyes met, she smiled, I froze. Walk over, smile back. Before I can make up my mind, the person she was waiting for came along. They left. Wow, thanks for that tip from the boss there. Don't fail again. Seriously, we can't fail, says Will. Stay sharp, we can't fail this time. Too bad you couldn't join us at the last weekend, yeah. Well, look at that, there's 3 notes on my desk, all reminding me of failure. That's not even in my head, that's just other people there in my life.
Is it painful to die?
Don't want to think about it.
I mean, of course, your body would feel pain.
And you can just shut
But
up.
usually, that only lasts for a relatively short while.
Not listening,
What
not listening,
comes
just gonna
next?
eat, just gonna eat.
I mean, you didn't feel pain before you were born, did you? You felt nothing. There was nothing. If that is what awaits you, what is there to be afraid of?
Another evening, another grind, This thing's made to last for an infinity, and for every hour that pass, I feel like a part of me breaks off and shatters. Where's the enjoyment? I don't get it. It's also obviously made to be a black hole that drains time and life. Had it. Waiting for the brain fog to pass before I can do anything else. Well, this one's sticking around a while. Just kind of paralyzed by my own thoughts for a moment. Wow, this one's actually really lasting a while. I think the only option is sleep. Okay, that's really well done, honestly. Yeah. At a certain point, everything's just too much, so all we can do is sleep. And it's still there, even in my dreams. I woke up and it's not even 5 AM. Anyone online? Alright, I haven't checked my email for a while. Probably just spam and trash. I'll check it anyway. An email from Will? Hey, look, I know it's been rough lately and this project can really wear you down at times, and for the record, I think you're doing an awesome job. We got this. I'll see you tomorrow. It was sent last week. Wednesday evening. Why are my eyes tearing up? He believed in me. Mistake. And I ended up with another failure. He wrote this to make me feel more secure, and I failed him again.
You're too lazy to even put your dirty clothes in the bin. You should just reuse them without washing.
What?
Oh,
What?
did you notice that?
I can't shower? No, I don't want to give in. I don't want to give in. If I'm not feeling up for showering, then I'll eat. I'll eat healthy. I'll eat healthy.
Wednesday. Wasting away. Why are we still here? Struggling. Waiting for things to get better. Do they ever?
Yes.
Why won't you let me decide on what to do with your life? I've got so many great ideas on how to end it.
Shut up.
They're all going about their lives like little ants running up and down the hill. I'm trying so hard to see the meaning, the purpose. It eludes me. Do they look happy to you? Take a long, hard look. I don't think so.
We still got a work day. We still got a work day ahead. We can still just Just go to work. Just gotta get to Friday. Just gotta get to Friday. Take off my headset for a moment, briefly resting my ears from the onslaught of loud music. Turn my head towards low-key laughter and chatter. Will and Jenny standing close to the door leading to the cafeteria. Their voices are just low enough that the sentences are drowned in the river of sounds engulfing the floor. What are they laughing at? I just focus on my preparations for Friday. That's all I got. That's all I gotta do. Just Friday. Just get through that. Preparation will be fine. The meeting will be fine. Everything will be good. And then once I'm done with that, I don't have to worry about it. Just gotta get to Friday. Dad, I need courage. Why don't they teach that in school? All they left me with these pointless skills in maths and shit. How's that gonna help me survive? Thanks for some amazing inspirational messages from John there. I should eat.
We all know what it's like to not exist.
Maybe when I'm making
After
food,
all,
you could
we've
just not
spent much more
not
time
think. That'd be
not
good.
existing than we've spent living. It's not painful. However, the real pain hardly comes from that. It comes from loss. The loss of everything your life contains. Relationships with loved ones. Friends.
Wow, all the labels on the rooms change as well. I mean, I want to point out to everybody, everything that freaking red narrator is saying, it's highlighted in red. It's advertised as, these are wrong thoughts, okay? Please don't listen to what that narrator is saying in real life. If you're watching this and you're like, huh, that narrator has a point. He doesn't. He's wrong. It's not... It's supposed to be a negative wrong thought. So please, I swear to gosh, just... don't listen to the red voice. Oh boy. Oh boy. Maybe I can squeeze in a shower. Okay. Okay, that's something. That's a positive.
Steaming hot water, burning away at your skin. I can feel how it helps you relax. Does it feel like someone is holding you? Close your eyes and you might be able to dream yourself away. To anywhere but here.
It's only 3:30 and I'm wide awake. Oh, there's flies all over the... Where's all that music coming from? I guess I can try for some more sleep. I don't want to miss work though. Years ago, I took great pride in being at the top. Somehow it felt important for the future. To get a job. Now what? If this is the end game, what is there to look forward to? But it's not the end game. It's not.
Wednesday. No, wait. Thursday. Yes. Why do you need my help remembering the days anyway? Honestly, I can't really tell which day it is either. It's all incessant chaos to me.
It's not the end game, you know? I thought all these things, like, you know, years ago. I thought, like, that exact same thing. I was in a job that I hated. And now my life has completely changed. Now I've moved out and I'm living with my partner. And I have a totally different job. A job that didn't even exist years ago. And things can change. There's no end game. Life isn't just chapters in a book with, like, a pre-planned ending. Life is just life. It's chaos, it's uncertainty, but it's not sad. It's what you make of it. Too many times I've lain awake in bed, feeling nothing but regret, and mistakenly hurting others with my words and actions. It led to a sincere attempt to not speak before I had thoroughly decided what I was going to say. A dark spiral. After all, being hard on myself is easy. There's no one to keep me in check but me. Beating myself into submission became natural. No one was there to notice the change. Only that I seemed to become nicer. The irony would be laughable if it wasn't so sad. The only person I won't be nice to is myself.
Lost your appetite? Or are you just posing to get people's attention? Well, good luck then. Let's see if anyone cares.
They do. You're not posing, it's not fake. If you're feeling these things, you're feeling these things. No one can tell you that you're not feeling these things. If you feel like this, if any of this you relate to, people care. I care, okay? If you believe no one else in your life cares, you are listening right now to someone who cares. You are wrong. Someone does care. So, one thing I've noticed about today is that I can't seem to go to work. I have no choice. I have to just go back to sleep. It's all I have the energy for. Sleeping through the day now, staying up all night. This whole chat cares. Yeah, all like 3,000 people. That's crazy. There's so many people. They're all sharing lovely stories and heartfelt stories and love and hope and genuinely, like, there's people out there that care. It's not a trick. It's not an illusion. I'm not lying. It's straight up fact that do you really think I would have done this whole stream if I didn't care about this? I'm doing this very thing because I care about you. If you are suffering from this stuff, I care about you, and I want you to know that there's a way to get better, there's hope, there's future. You know, this game may not look like it right now. This game, even if we end up with a bad ending, this game is purely showing you that there are so many points along the way where, you know, it just takes that little bit extra push. Just trying to get out there, trying to just do one thing, just talk to one extra person. Literally, it could change the whole day. How did I get there? Here. I suppose it started pretty innocently. Once a week, twice a week, every weekday. When did I stop going to the arcades with Amy? When did I stop going out for beers with Will? When did I stop talking about life with Jenny? I don't remember making any decisions like that. The screen goes black and the fans slowly come to a halt. I can see my darkened reflection in the monitor. How did I get here? There's that fog again. But it's Friday tomorrow, right? I can't miss that. You know, if I have to have one slump day right now where I just don't go into work, it's fine as long as I'm there tomorrow. Will needs me.
For the entirety of last week, you just kept going back through your old memories, forcing yourself to remember. Do you realize that's the reason I woke up again? I am the silence beneath the surface. But now, I can't keep quiet, and I have nothing to offer but regret.
And yeah, someone in chat just said, like, they feel like this game is more for people that don't suffer from mental illness, and I kind of agree with that, but that's kind of why I wanted to do it. You know, I feel like the first, like, half of the stream was for the people that do, and this is hopefully a way for people that don't know this stuff to get a semblance of an idea. I mean, I know it's just a video game, it can't ever compare to real life, no matter how good it is, but hopefully at least you get some semblance of an idea of just how much of a fight we have to go through every day just to wake up, just to get out of bed, just to brush our teeth, just to have a shower. Literally, just from this game, you see that every single one of those steps is a choice, is a fight with a voice, like, and that's before we even get to the front door. So I hope, even if you don't suffer from this stuff, I hope you can at least see that maybe, like I said, a friend, a neighbor, someone you work with, a family, just, you can see that all they need is just someone to talk to them and be there for them. Literally would solve everything. Just a knock on the door, as the game's called. Tomorrow. Chance at redemption. Just need strength, energy, to get through this final challenge. Lies. There will always be another chance. Another chance. Work or not letting Will down. Somehow I can take the angry ravings of John better than the disappointed look on Will's face. I have to do this. I have to do this. I messed up last week. That's in the past. I can't change that, but I can change what happens today. Just one choice. Just opening that door. It's fine. I shower now. If I do everything I need to now, I can wake up pretty fresh. Clothes are a bit dirty. It's okay, as long as I get the job done. If I can eat something. I'll eat the sandwich, I'll go to bed, I'll wake up, it'll be difficult, but I'll do it, you know? Still got like 10 hours before 12 hours before I even have to go to work. I can get some sleep in, I can be sorted.
This is ridiculous. Stop yawning and get some sleep.
I am, but not because you told me to, just because it's the right thing to do. Okay.
Friday. 4th.
7 AM. Not even gonna be late. Not even gonna
And
be
you
late.
don't even realize it yourself.
Don't care what you have to say.
That there is someone or something pulling the strings from far above, out of our reach. You and I, we're just along for the ride.
Okay. Do I have a snack before I go? Let's try it. Let's try something.
I must be losing track of time.
I can eat this in time. I can still be there. I can do this. Friday. Again. My mind has been so full of the stuff going on at work. I think my plan for this weekend was to move to my new apartment. That was the plan, but I don't think I'll move this weekend either. If I only had someone who could help me. Who would want to help me? I feel like steps away from breaking. These emotions won't stop flooding to the surface. Not even sure if I'm in control anymore. But please, it's scary. It's really freaking scary, but if I can just do today, if I can just do this presentation, everything will be right. I have to make this work. Work. Why is it so important anyway? Maybe because of them, of Will, of not so much John, but we gotta do this. Colleagues? Friends? I don't know. I only know that I miss them. Miss talking to him. I miss him. Presentation's over. Will and I are standing in the flickering light of the projector. John sits next to an oval table in the middle of the dimly lit room. He frowns and gives us a sarcastically slow clap. Will tries to lighten up the mood, but John isn't having it. Even though our showcase was a success, this time we're treated to a condescending rant about our past failures. He talks to us as if we're nothing. Anger's welling up inside me. I can't stay quiet. I rip up my papers. That's enough. I think I've been sent home from work early. It's not even 4 o'clock. Guess we'll find out what happened when we go to sleep. Saturday tomorrow though, yay weekend. Couldn't take it anymore. This has to be it, right? There's no way he'd let me keep my job, not after that outburst. I mostly remember feelings, blurs, movement, shaken in anger, storming out of the room, through the hallway. My feet carried me home. I wonder what happened with Will. John make him pay for what I did? It wouldn't surprise me. John's the kind of person to do that, which means Will hates me now. I mean, did the presentation. Can't sleep, it's only midnight. Try and get back. Will I be able to fix this? Should I call Will? Ask what happened after I left? Ask for his forgiveness? Prepare for going back? Going back? I get the feeling that it won't really be my choice. I need to gather strength for Monday. Come up with a good excuse for Will, even John. Especially John. Think of a good enough reason for him to let me stay. My job is the last string that keeps me attached. Will, Jenny, Amy. I don't talk to any of them outside of work anymore. I'm afraid losing my job means losing them.
Saturday. Something is coming. Do you want me to say that it will be all right?
Would make a change.
That you don't have to be afraid? Come on. You know me better than that by now. Whatever happens, your choices are not up to me. They never are.
Yeah, so what's Saturday gonna bring us?
How hard can it be to hang your coat on a hanger? You
Very hard
lazy
when
idiot.
someone keeps calling me a lazy idiot. Just gotta wait and see what Saturday brings me, I guess. Oh? A letter? Uh-oh. I think that's my job. I don't know what I could say in here. Okay, okay. Rip the band-aid. Let's go. Damn. Literally, if at any point John had actually just said any nice thing to me and, you know, asked
Look
why
at
I was
you.
late.
Pathetic. Even at the very end. Go choke on your pills and drown yourself already. Just do the world a favor and be forgotten, goddammit. I bet you're afraid. I bet you can't go through with it. You're just posing. You're weak. You don't deserve to live. You deserve to die. You deserve it. We deserve it. I deserve it. I don't want to feel like this anymore. It's exhausting. Please, make this pain stop. I'm begging you. I don't have to exist anymore. No one will know. Please. No one is going to knock on our door.
was an unexpected change in graphics quality. Oh man. I think that was a good ending. I hope that was a good ending. The smile was good. But yeah, I think the developer, I think that was the actual developer maybe. Yeah, so this that was the developer of the game, and this is actually based off an actual his own experience with mental health, and honestly, he captured it so well. And yeah, I was really worried where that was gonna go at the end. I'm really glad there was a little knock at the door there. I think, I mean, maybe this sounds silly, but like, I think like, no matter where you are, no matter how deep you are, no matter how lost you are, there is always someone in your life that can knock on your door. That's the takeaway you want to take from this. If you want to use that in the context of the game, I fully believe that. With everything I said at the beginning about my story and stuff, with everything I said about where I was in my dark times, there was always, even when there were like 7 billion people that I didn't know and that didn't want to talk to me, there was always one that somehow showed up just when I needed it. And he did sad music on the credits and it made me cry. Hey Fiona, you came home just when I needed you.
Yeah.
You came through that door just when I needed you, baby. I was about to burst into proper tears, and then you were here and you hugged me, just like I was saying in the story. I love you, baby. I don't know if they can quite pick you up on the mic, but yeah. We're gonna wrap up the stream. This game went on a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's just finished. You can play through it again if you want to pick up this game. It's on sale on Steam right now, I think. There's multiple paths, there's multiple endings apparently. The review I read said that there's a pretty negative ending as well, so be aware of that. Thankfully, I think we got an okay one. So yeah. I'm gonna close that game for now. We do have some donation messages to read if you wanted to do that. I do want to read them, but like I don't know how to go about it now because it's later than I thought. You know what? I'll take a look at them and if it gets to a point where I just need to stop, I hope that's okay. Like if it's too much, I'm exhausted from playing that game and from talking about everything. So. Oh, that sorry, still coming down from those tears, but I genuinely believe in the message of that game. that there is always someone. You are never alone, even when it feels like you're alone. Even when all you have is that little voice in your head. There's always people. There's always someone that wants to help you. They just maybe don't know that you need the help. That's a big thing. Some people just don't know that you're suffering. It's not their fault. Just yeah, there's people. There's doctors. There's teachers. There's parents. There's family. There's neighbors. There's friends. There's co-workers. There's anything. There's strangers. There's random streamer on the internet. Whatever you can think of, there's someone that will want to help you. Don't ever think that there isn't. I know it's hard not to sometimes, but I promise there's people. You're not alone. I really, really believe that. I didn't believe it 10 years ago. 100% I don't know the word I'm trying to find. 100% believe it now. Couldn't ever doubt it. Undoubtedly 100% believe it now. That's what I was looking for. Sorry guys, I need a little moment. Hope that's okay. Right, I'm gonna try and read out some of your messages. Gonna try and do what I can. Sorry, I still need a moment. Fiona's just come home with like McDonald's, and I should really eat. I'm just gonna pick away at the fries a little bit while I read out some messages, and then if it gets too late, or if the messages are too difficult to read as well, I might not be able to handle it. I hope that's understandable. I know a lot of you have sent some lovely messages about your own experiences, stuff that I will read, even if I don't read it out. I will read. I promise. And know that like whatever you're going through, whatever you're experiencing, no matter how bad you feel, just keep fighting. I swear, 100%, just keep fighting. Like times a million, just keep fighting. Times infinity plus one, a million times forever, always. Yeah, just I mean it. I can't stress it enough. Seriously. And if you don't experience this stuff, if you're here in the chat and this has affected you and made you like maybe realize what people could be going through, be there, please. We need you. Whoever you are, if you suspect someone's suffering, just ask if they're okay. It might be all they need. It might be all they need. Okay. Sorry, still need a breather. Apparently those tears are still coming a little bit down my cheek. That's fine. Oh. Yeah, I didn't want to put the scrolling messages on the bottom today for this stream, just in case anyone accidentally said something a bit too personal that they might have like instantly been like, "Oh, didn't actually want to say that" or something like that. Because I know that with this stream, with the talk of mental health, there's the chance to maybe reveal too much. I want to, you know, I'm in a fortunate enough position that I can talk about this stuff now that's affected me, but I know other people maybe just don't want to, and that's fine too. You don't have to. So, yeah, I thought that would be the safest thing for everybody. But what I can do is read out any messages that we got from I'm so sorry. There's loads of lovely messages that were on the Sim stream. Shout out to all of us playing The Sims early. We never got to read those out. Shout out to all the people that donated during us playing The Sims. Sorry. Very, very lovely messages. Birthday shout out to Winda Sandoval. I'm just quickly skimming through them. Sorry if that's not what people wanted, but it's very late now and we have neighbours to be concerned about. But thank you very much for all of your love during the Sim stream. I'm going to skip ahead now to 8 o'clock when we started the this stream, and we'll try and read out some messages. I'll offer what I can if anyone has any questions about like the NHS system or anything like that. I'll do my best to answer that. But honestly, a lot of it has changed since I last went. But I'll do my best anyway. So let's So when did we start? Like 1:15, I think it was. So oh man, lots of lovely messages I'm seeing already. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the people that congratulating us on getting married in The Sims. Thank you for that. There we go. And then we're up to okay. Whew. So it's been a tough stream. Been a lot of difficult things that have been talked about. I understand if people weren't able to stick through the whole thing, or wanted to wait until this was out on a VOD, or take it, bite-sized chunks at a time. Totally respect that. Totally understand that. Likewise to anyone that doesn't suffer from these things, and maybe the stream just didn't click or connect with them at all. Totally understand if you're not even watching this right now. But don't know how you heard me say this, but I understand. Totally get it. However you approach this, I totally understand. Whatever way your brain deals with it better is obviously the way you should do it. So, sorry, still trying to find the time. You guys have donated a lot. Okay, so Lelio donated at the start of stream. So did I am Leventi. And thank you to Anna as well. The past few years have been terrible for me, says Anna. No thanks to depression and anxiety, but you two have made my life so much brighter with every video and stream. Thank you for everything you and the rest of the Yogscast do. That's what it's all about, man. Literally everything. This whole stream is maybe it was a bit backwards, but it wasn't meant to make people feel worse. It was supposed to make people feel inspired. It was supposed to make people know that no matter how dark things get and how difficult things get, there's always something. There's always something that you can keep fighting for. Always. Even if it's something as simple as getting up the next day because you got to do a presentation at work. Something so boring, so meticulous, really. But just that one thing that just keeps you waking up the next day. Just keep focusing on those things, no matter how small or big they are. Yeah. Thank you for your lovely message. Thank you to Zero and Lauren, Wicked Eve, Mataphobia, Hierophant, Rad Panda, Dot has donated. Mental health is very important to me. After I had a psychotic crisis a few years ago, still taking meds for that. I used to be very introverted and spent most of my time alone at home, not doing anything really. I was terrible to people, didn't really have any friends I shared any significant time with, but it's gotten a lot better lately. I actually have good friendships for once in my life, and we have fun, and it's awesome. And I think that's the takeaway. It can get better, especially if you have people that support you. There's always someone out there. Thanks for doing this. Both Zoe and Fiona are awesome, and the Yogscast as a whole. Been watching you guys since I was in middle school, and now I'm in my 4th year at uni. Wow, that's a long time. And thank you so much for that message. Thank you so much. And I hope all the best to you. All the best to you. And thank you to William Johnson. And thank you to Ray with the hundo there from Ray. Thank you to Reg Dracomancer. Thank you to Hayden. And thank you to Sampa. Amelia Cameron. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Zoe. It really helps to hear how mental health has affected people that we look up to. On a lighter note, there's a Twitter account called Cat Cosplay. I think the two of you might like it. Thank you. Thank you for that message. Thank you to Grey Wolf, Jex Canis Nexus. Zoe, I greatly appreciate you sharing your experiences with mental health. I'm so very glad that you're here and you're better. Things may not be perfect, but it's progress. That's something. You're hopeful and that gives me hope. Yeah, pretty much. It's never gonna be perfect for me, this stuff is always gonna be in my brain. I could go weeks, maybe even a month without it popping up, but it'll always come back. That sucks, but that's not the end. That doesn't mean that I have to just give in and let it win. It just means, hey, every now and then, just have to let my brain do its thing, and then the next day I'm just like, right, screw you, brain, onto my thing now. It's fine. I honestly have way more hope for the future. And like, it's complete opposite, before I was put in hospital, it was like 7 days a week, non-stop, 12 hours, depressed. Now, it's, at its worst, maybe an hour a day, where I just cry for a bit. and some days when I go out, it's more difficult, but overall, I would say now, the majority of my week is alright. So that's, I love that. I love this. I love being alive. I think that's an important thing to say. I felt kind of weird saying that as that came out of my mouth, but that's not something I've actually said to myself for a few years since the hospital. So, you know what? Yeah, I love being with Fiona. I love having Sonia pattering about the house. I love the McDonald's that she just brought me. I love doing this stream for all you guys. I things are alright. Yeah, there we go. Smile on my face now. Thank you to Sybil Astor. Thank you to Club M. Thank you to Hansan. Yeah, anyone out there, remember that everything goes towards getting better. Do not define yourself as always being sick or disorder name. It's something that helps you become amazing people, even if it's painful. Yeah, like I said, I don't say I'm depressed 7 days of the week. I don't say I'm a depressed person, because I'm not. I'm a person that's creative and it has an amazing job, an amazing girlfriend, and occasionally I suffer from depression. Kaithar, thank you very much for your donation as well. Club M again, 2 out of 4. So I guess I've done 4 total, if I know maths. And I do. Thank you to Devi. Thank you to wow, I'll try that again. Anonymous. Keep up the amazing stream, guys. The work you do is absolutely fantastic. Keep on keeping on. I figured I'd read out the anonymous ones so they actually know which anonymous they are. Thank you to Jordan. Thank you to Jack Rimmer. Thank you to Bebop and Joel Evans, Jared P, Neferox. That's a cool name. Thank you to Ebba. So hopefully you read this, Zoey. I will. I'm doing it now. Hopefully you read this, Zoey. I've experienced similar issues as you. I have depression and anxiety. I had a really good year last year. Took a medicine that worked and finally felt like I had a handle on things. Sadly, it's gotten difficult again. Okay. I'm going to read this to myself for a second. Sorry. I would say to that there, I understand if you don't want me to read out the whole thing. I would say to that there, I think you know what's best for your brain. I think you should go to the doctors. You should talk to them. They are the people that can help. They're there to help. Nothing that they do can be bad. It could be like delayed. It could be like, hey, we'll see you in a week instead of tomorrow. But that's pretty much the worst it could be. Apart from that, you just have to keep trying with them, and they'll know what's best for you, and they will just keep talking to them. Thank you to SG Bun. Okay, so having read that one, sorry, the one before that, these are difficult to read out. Understandably, you guys are sharing some very, very deep personal stuff, and I welcome that, and I will read all of your messages. But I think I may stop reading the messages out because I've already cried a million times this stream. But know that I love you. If you have sent a message in, and if you are struggling, know that there is hope for you. There is love for you. I care about you, and there are doctors, there are people out there that can help you. And seriously, just please, just I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. I'm not a therapist. I can't give you the knowledge of like, oh yeah, you should take this. Oh, I prescribe you with this or whatever. You know, I can't do that. I'm not legally can't do that. But please, there are people that can. There are people that can help you, and they're just down the road. They're just like 30-minute walk away or whatever. Doctors, I don't know where they are in your home. I don't know where you live, but they're somewhere. Just yeah, keep fighting. Thank you to Rasmus Holigard. Thank you to Jen. Thank you to Sebastian Gustafsson. Thank you to Callum Story. Thank you to Jumpspat. Thank you to Robin. Thank you to Per Annan, Hummingbird, Winter Sandoval, Isaac Baker, Timothy, Dan Hildson, Jozuatek, I think. Thank you to Essa. Thank you to twitch.tv/Bastardos. Thank you. Thank you to Tim the Grim. Thank you very much. This stream really convinced me to go find a therapist. So many things I just dismiss as well. If I actually try to do anything, it would be fine, so I don't need therapy. But yeah, I know that feeling. You're just like, well, I'm not dead, so why should I go to a therapist? But no, I think as soon as those thoughts start, you should do your best to nip them in the bud, basically. Like I said earlier, if I wish I had done all this stuff when I was younger. I wish I had figured all this stuff out when I was younger and not just put it off. The sooner you can sort this stuff out, the sooner you can have a better understanding of who you are, and the sooner you can work to help. The sooner you can work to help yourself. Thinking of Andrew and Zach Power and Rob with an E. Guess it's more of a robe, whatever. I'm thinking to Mikhail. Thinking to Arx and Logan and Aidan McGacken. I can pronounce names. Thinking to Chase Rowland and Luca and Ostkungun. Aidan McGeechan again. That probably is. I don't know. I'd suck at names. And I have anxiety after I read out each one where I'm like, oh god, did I mess that up? They hate me. I'm terrible. But that popped into my head and I'm just like, screw it. This is an amazing stream. You just donate it for charity. We're raising it for good causes. Who cares if I feel a little anxious? This has ultimately turned out to be really good. Thinking to Kevin. Thinking to Connor Merrill. Thinking to Kelsey. Thinking to Anonymous. Hey, quick question. If you can spare the time and can answer. Okay. How do you deal with loneliness? Like when you are surrounded by friends and such, but you can never feel at home and you just always feel alone. I think ultimately, even if you go out to a party and you're just sat there in silence and you're like, oh, this is a bit awkward, kind of feel a bit lonely and stuff. I think still, no matter what happens, it's better than just sitting at home and not going to that party and just doing nothing and being miserable. Even if you go there and you don't say a word, you still get that feeling of socialness. You still have people talking around you. Even if they're not talking to you, you're still part of something. I would say that I would say that it's not always bad to be lonely. I will say that some of my it's getting late, so I'm struggling to talk. But some of my most creative moments come when I'm at my loneliest. When Fiona's gone to bed and it gets to like 1 a.m. in the morning and no one's around to chat to anymore, and it's just me, and I've got nothing else to watch on Netflix. Just kind of that moment where I'm just lonely. I load up Photoshop and I just start drawing, and I just do stuff. Loneliness isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it should be seen as one. But again, like that light and dark side thing I said earlier, I think it's important to have a balance. I think it would be really overwhelming if you were always going out to a party every night, and I think it'd be really lonely and miserable if you were always just in your house every night. But I think mixing it up, having a balance of it, it's okay. You don't need to go out all the time. You don't need to feel like you always need to be talking. Sometimes it's okay to just chill. I hope that helps. I don't know. I'm mostly just talking about my own advice here, and again, this might not necessarily apply to you, but from my personal experience, balance is always the best thing. Trying to push in too much in one way or the other just makes you overwhelmed or makes you more depressed, and there's nice in the middle. It's nice in the middle. It's cozy. Thank you to Anne. And thank you to Preston. Thank you to Harriet. And thank you to Carl and Mathieu. Thank you to Matt Etherington. Thank you to Chris R. Thank you for being willing to share, reminding the rest of us we're not alone. It's difficult. I didn't start this YouTube and thought, 5 years from now I'll be talking about all of, my suicide attempt and going into hospital and stuff like that. That was not my intention. But like I said, I reached a point where I realized there were a lot of young people watching me, a lot of teenagers going through school having difficulties and stuff. And I wasn't happy just sitting there having all these tweets come to me and messages and stuff and just not doing anything when I had already been through what they're talking about. Now, I can't reply to each tweet and each message one by one. That overwhelms me as well. That's difficult. I'm not a doctor. That's not my job. I cannot do that. But if I can do something like this, like once, twice a year, and just talk about this stuff and just let people know that they can just carry on, that things are okay, that there's hope and that there's a path they can take, then that's still better than me just sitting in silence and just seeing all these people miserable and not doing anything. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't do something. Even if it's just this, even if it's just 3 hours a year, I still wanna. I want to. If I had to share everything about me, like literally every single therapy session I had, every single time I took a medication, or if you wanted absolute specifics, and that meant that someone felt better and didn't go into the dark path that I went down, then that's worth it. I'm happy sharing all this stuff because it means that other people don't have to experience this stuff. That's more important to me than anything else. Thank you. And thank you to Kai, Kai, and thank you to Angel Martinez Bustamante. I don't know if I said that right. Thank you for being you. Oh, thank you for being you. And thank you to Wyatt Seal. And thank you to Hestia, your biggest fan, apparently. Ooh, thank you. Long message. Okay. I'll read this in private, just in case there's any information. Okay. Hey, yeah. No, you know what? Yeah. Whoever you are, whatever you're experiencing, you're still freaking human, you know? I hate all this like othering of like people with mental health issues and the stigma of like, oh, they're one of those crazy people. It's like, no, the people. Don't say the crazy. Don't say the whatever adjective you're using. They're just people. Help them. Yeah, and you should carry on being you, and you should, yeah, exactly what you said in that message. Good that you're accepting yourself, and good luck for the future, because it doesn't matter what other people think as long as you are happy. As long as you are living your life, don't let someone else ruin that for you. Don't be a John from that game. Don't be a boss that just shits on your parade all the time. Okay, and thank you to Dookie, and thank you to Joey, and thank you to Anonymous with a hundo there. No message, but thank you very much for that. And thank you to Pringles. Thank you to Pringles. Not eating any, just thanks to Pringles. They're great. No, but seriously, love your content. Wishing your original series continue, but that's in the past, and I can continue hoping it will continue again one day. It won't. I am happy enough with my mental health now to say that doing anything like a Minecraft series again will overwork me and make me stressed. Anything I do in the future will be on Twitch, and if I feel like the Twitch VOD was good enough, I'll upload it to my YouTube. But I can pretty safely say, for the sake of my mental health, trying to do anything like the Blackrock or anything like that again. Dude, you know, Blackrock was like a 20-minute recording after me building a set piece non-stop for 2 weeks. It was overworking. Rithian would say to me every time, like, you didn't need to do this much. You've done way too much. We're not even going to show that part in the video, but I had to make it all. Had to do it, and it was too much. I can't go back to that again. It wasn't healthy for me. I found a good release for that in D&D, doing like pre-made adventures in D&D, like Curse of Strahd, which I'm going to be running in the new year for a bunch of friends. That is pre-written for me. So while I can add my own little touches to it, I can't go overboard with it. It's there, it's written for me. I can just read out and do a story without going too overboard with it. And I think that'll be a nice middle ground for me. That's just I don't know, you guys probably don't care about that. I just thought I'd share that. And thank you to Rob Leather, and thank you to Johnny. Thank you to Sam. Thank you to Tim. They're very generous donation. Thank you, Tim. Thank you to Zoey Green, who has my name. And yeah, similarly to the one I just said just now, super good that you're accepting yourself, that you're discovering yourself. Carry on being you. Don't let anyone get in the way of that. You are awesome, and it's a really awesome name. And thank you to Kelly. And thank you to Storm D'Angelo. D'Angelo? I don't know if I said that right. Whatever. Thank you to Corey. Thank you to Kelly. Thank you to Red Alert for the win. Thank you to Anafi. Zoe and Fiona, of course. This stream was so good and important. Hard to watch sometimes. Yep. But the things you said, chat supporting each other, thanks so much, and happy holidays. Yeah, I want to... You know what, before we end this, I did want to mention this. I'm so glad you reminded me. I want to say thank you from all of the people in the chat. How do I say this? To the people that have stuck around for this whole stream and helped out other people and shared their stories and just be nice, you know, not being a typical Twitch troll, let's say. There are a couple of you out there and you're on the wrong stream, but for the rest of you that were helping out and giving support and just taking the stream for what it is and being a part of this, thank you for giving me hope for... Give me a little hope for humanity, honestly, you know. It's been a weird year where a lot of humans have done some things that are going to hurt other humans, and it's all a bit like, Why are you doing that? So it's nice to see that there are a bunch, thousands, even 3,000 of you that are able to just be nice. It's good. It's needed. Thank you very much. Whoops, I've just clicked the wrong button. Give me a moment to refresh. Hold on. Oh dear. I am good at this whole streaming thing, yeah? Yeah. Dearie me, it takes a while. It's fine. There we go. Yes, sorry, I just saw someone, the Zoey thing I just read out also had a question in it, so I've just quickly gone back to find that, and of course, you don't need my permission. Just do it, be awesome, is what I'll say to that. There you go. Hope that helps. Good luck with everything to you. And now back to where I was, which was where? Who did I just read out? Anafi, I think. There we go. Thank you to Michael Nowak, and thank you to Ricardo Fort. I can't read things sometimes. It's so late. And thank you to Dragon215 and Toby and Will. Oh, we're getting near the end here. Oh, gosh, we've breezed through these, honestly. Probably because I wasn't reading out every single message. Funny how that works and makes things quicker. Thank you to Will. Thank you to Mozidan or Zach. Thank you to Evie D&B. Thank you to Nicholas, Rated R-Star, Matt Gomez, Grim, Andrew, Christian Smith, Sean. Thank you so much for the mental health stream. It's helped me realize there are people out there who suffer from anxiety and depression. Thank you, Fiona, Jane Dash, and chat. Oh, yes. Sorry, I mentioned chat earlier, but of course the mods as well, and especially Jane. You guys have been saying some amazing stuff and keeping the chat in check and making sure nobody's too for lack of a better word, dickish. So thank you for that. Thank you for being the amazing mods that you are. You're amazing, seriously. There we go. Thank you, Sean, and thank you to Padlock27. Thank you to Ton Uglo, and thank you to Ryan. Thank you to some guy. There we go. Thank you to Eddie. Thank you to Zachary. Thank you to Peter, Daniel Stewart, Eddie. My name is Jeff in chat, who just says, my name is Jeff in chat. Thank you, Jeff in chat. If you're in chat still. Thank you to Bradley. Thank you to Miss Ed. Thank you to Kieran. Citrusy. Yeti. And one more. Kavin. Kavin. Kavin? Whatever. I think that's all of them. I think that's everybody. Holy crap. Wow. That stream went on a lot longer than I thought it would. Almost an hour longer than I thought it would. Whew. The stream's going to end now. For those, literally, someone called Nick in chat just asked, when does the stream end? Don't worry, I'm done. I will see you next week. We are still streaming next week. We still got our Saturday stream on 5 to 8 next Saturday. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for being part of this. I know it wasn't for everybody, but thank you. Thank you for letting this happen. I thought there would be a lot of pushback. I thought there would be some people who would be like, oh, this isn't a game. Oh, this isn't Lewis and Simon. Oh, well, I don't want to talk about brains and feelings. I thought there'd be a lot of that. And I was pleasantly surprised that there was actually a lot of people that seemingly needed this. And that means a lot to me, that I could offer something as exhausting as this stream was, and boy, believe me, I am exhausted right now. I've just done 7 hours of streams. As exhausting as this is, I wouldn't have changed it for the world. I'm so glad I got to do this. I'm so glad I was able to find a slot in the Jingle Jam. I was so worried all the days were being taken up, like all the like, you know, the usual suspects had already taken all their streams and stuff. I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to do just a nice thing like this, and I'm so glad I was able to do this and fit this in, even if it meant that I had to do 7 hours in a row of streaming. Still worth it. So thank you very much for being part of this. And thank you to Tim, who just donated as well. That's where we're going to end it. Have a great Christmas, everybody. There's no streams for Christmas Eve tomorrow, Christmas the day after, and Boxing Day the day after that, if you didn't know how days worked. There's no streams for those 3 days. What will be happening is the Yog Cinema will be playing, and I think it's like pre-programmed playlists. It's like the whole Tekkit series and stuff like that. So watch that if you're bored on Christmas or whatever. If you're going out with family, if you're going out with friends, tell them you love them. Let them know that everyone's in this whole crazy Earth world together. Okay, we're all in this together. There's people out there that need to just know that there's love out there, and yeah, just yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna start crying again. Okay, probably best not to waffle on. I'll just end this here. Thank you to Becca who just donated. Thank you very much for that. And I will see you all. The streams will start again on the 27th, I think, at 11 a.m. I think. I don't know if the schedule's out yet. I don't know what it is, but we'll be doing a D&D stream. I think somewhere next week as well after Christmas. I don't know. It's not all being finalized yet the next week, but somewhere. Thank you. And Fiona sends all her love to you. I saw her typing a few things in chat. And we hope you enjoyed the sim stream earlier. We hope you enjoyed this stream. And we hope you get the love and the support that you all deserve. Every single one of you really deserves.
You're all amazing, and thank you very, very much. And thank you very much for putting on this stream.
It was needed. I had to do this. I don't want to go through every year where we just play silly games and nothing means anything. I wanted to have something with actual purpose. Let people notice what they're raising money for, how much people they can help by just helping out a charity that will share this stuff, that will educate people, that will help people get what they need. It's so important. Bye. I'm just gonna go now. I'm out of words and I'm about to cry. I'm gonna turn off the stream. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'm not sad, I'm happy. These are happy tears because I'm seeing all the love in chat and you're great. I'm gonna go before I cry.